That's the Cleveland County High School cheerleaders in with us tonight from Heflin, Alabama, our Anniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week. Welcome into high school football, Alabama's After the Game. Jon Holder with you on this Football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We'll hear more from the Cleveland County cheerleaders a little bit later on. We've got all the scores, tons of highlights, non-region action tonight all across East Alabama. And we're going to be with you for about the next 3 hours or so, bringing you all the high school information that you can handle in the next 3 hours. Right now, we want to go to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard, get you caught up on all the final scores across East Alabama. We'll have highlights of this game coming. Number 4 Piedmont tonight, an impressive win. Homecoming at the Field of Champions. The Bulldogs beating BB Comer tonight, 58-16. Highlights of that game on the way on After the Game. Big win for White Plains tonight. This was out at Robertson Field, back and forth game. Very good horseshoe bend team coming in from down in New Site. White Plains wins the game, close all the way. White Plains a winner over the Generals tonight, 28-27. Also tonight, the Ohatchee Indians. We got the head coach of the Indians, Chris Finley. He's here right now, waiting patiently to be with us here on After the Game. You'll hear from him a little bit later on. Ohatchee tonight, big winners up on the mountain here at 10th Street Mountain at Donahoe. They beat the Falcons tonight, 54-14. An impressive win for number 5 Oxford in Class 6A on the road at Helena tonight. They beat the Huskies 35-10. We will see our reigning Ted's Fours and Beyond Team of the Week, Oxford. You'll see the trophy and T-shirt presentation coming up from down at Oxford earlier today, coming up later on After the Game. Oxford wins tonight. They're now 6-0 as the Yellow Jackets remain undefeated, 35-10 winners at Helena. Walter Welborn tonight beats Cleveland County 41-10 on the hill at Walter Welborn in another non-region game. Anniston had a tough task. The Bulldogs on the road tonight playing in Western Jefferson County as they take on Pleasant Grove tonight. I think we got that final score coming. It was the winner in that game was Pleasant Grove as they beat Anniston 30-0 tonight. There it is. Number 2 in Class 4A, Pleasant Grove beating the Anniston Bulldogs 30-0 tonight over in Western Jefferson County at Pleasant Grove. Also tonight, the Sacs Wildcats homecoming tonight at Jack Stewart Field out at Sacs. They beat Central of Coosa County 42-0. Head coach of the Sacs Wildcats, Alfonso Freeney, he's already here. He's in the house. He'll be with us to talk Sacs football as the Wildcats win game number 2 of the season tonight over Central of Coosa. Also this evening, it was Alexandria, a big win tonight up at Sardis. They go into the Lions Den. They beat Sardis. Alexandria now 3-2 as Alexandria goes in and knocks off the Sardis Lions tonight, 36-14. Still looking for a final score on Weaver and Winterboro playing out at Bill Bryan Stadium at Weaver. Winterboro was ahead in this game 12-7 early on. Still looking for a final score on that game from out at Weaver tonight. We will have highlights of this game. Jacksonville was in control when we arrived at Golden Eagle Stadium. Number 9 corner coming over from Jefferson County, undefeated. Jacksonville was up 21-7 when we arrived. After that, I guess we brought them bad luck because it was all corner the rest of the way as they outscored Jacksonville 28-7 the rest of the way. And corner comes back and beats Jacksonville tonight 35-28 at Golden Eagle Stadium. We will have highlights of that game coming. JCA, and folks, this is defense has just gone crazy in high school football, and here's another example of that. JCA tonight playing down in the city of Montgomery against Ezekiel Academy, and this is not a misprint because we had actually a score update on this earlier, and so we know this is an accurate score. Ezekiel Academy, the Knights beating Jacksonville Christian tonight, 80-58. That's correct, 80-58, 138 points scored tonight down in Montgomery as JCA loses their second game of the year. On the opposite end of the spectrum tonight, over at Woodland, Pleasant Valley beat Woodland 8-6. Those are more of my kind of games. Pleasant Valley 8, Woodland 6. Big win tonight as Pleasant Valley and Jonathan Nix go to 4-2 in the year as they win at Sewell Field at Woodland tonight. Randolph County, very impressive. The Tigers now 5-0. They beat the Ranburne Bulldogs tonight over in Ranburne. 41-0 the final tonight as Randolph County beats Ranburg. Another big score tonight. Hanley on the road at Morgan Washburn Stadium in Lynette. Hanley beats Lynette tonight. Hanley's been impressive the last few weeks. Hanley beats Lynette 31-12 on the road in Chambers County at Lynette tonight. Wadley and Glenwood canceled. They did not play the game tonight. That was going to be a big matchup. The number 1 team in 1A taking on the number 8 team in the state in 3A, Glenwood. That game was scheduled to be at Curtis Lynch Memorial Stadium in Wadley. Didn't happen. They canceled that game. Will not be made up. They did play this game tonight, a top 10 matchup in 5A in Scottsboro tonight at Trammell Stadium. Number 3, Central Clay County, playing number 7, Scottsboro. Central Clay wins it 35-21. Let me tell you what happened. One of the Central Clay team buses broke down in Fort Payne. So they had to get on the student section bus and ride with them to Scottsboro to Trammell Stadium. So that threw Danny Horn and the Volunteers all off kilter tonight. They kind of got off to a tough start. They were 20-14 game at one point, but Central Clay County pulls away. They remain undefeated to the Vols, and that'll be a happy and maybe a more smoother ride home tonight from Scottsboro. Maybe they got another bus as Central Clay County beats Scottsboro tonight in that top 10 matchup in 5A up in Jackson County by a score of 35-21. Still looking for a final from Legion Stadium in Sylacauga tonight on Sylacauga and Jemison. Sylacauga looking to even their record at 500 at 3-3. Ragland tonight, an impressive win for the Purple Devils at home at Joan Ford Stadium. They came into this game having never lost to Fayetteville ever. And a lot of folks thought this would be the year that Fayetteville would get them. That did not happen tonight. Ragland 35-0 over Fayetteville as they go to 11-0 all time against the Wolves. Also tonight, Childersburg and Vincent playing at John Cox Stadium in Childersburg, still looking for a final on that. Another game that was canceled was Alabama School for the Deaf last night, supposed to play Mississippi School for the Deaf. The Bulldogs coming over from Jackson, Mississippi to Talladega. That did not happen. That game is canceled, and we are informed that that will not be made up. Talladega and Asheville tonight. Talladega, I think, has lost 26 straight. No final yet, but Talladega was actually leading Asheville tonight in the second half at Mary Doom Stadium in Talladega, 13-8. Should have a final coming up. Westbrook Christian tonight playing at Munford. Westbrook comes in an impressive win for Steve Smith and the Warriors as they beat Munford tonight at Munford Stadium, 52-21. Lincoln Golden Bears playing in Tuscaloosa County tonight at Samantha against Northside. The Rams win it over the Golden Bears 30-0, your final score. Victory Christian playing tonight in Marion, Alabama against the Francis Marion Rams. Victory Christian gets the win. They go to 3-1 as they win at Francis Marion tonight over in Perry County, 25-20. Moody and Auburn, another great game that we lost because of the hurricane. Number 8 in Class 5A, Moody was supposed to have hosted number 2 in 7A Auburn last night at Bill Morris Stadium in Moody. Game was canceled. They tried to move it to 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Weather was terrible. They decided to just shut the thing down. That game will not be made up between Moody and Auburn. Tonight, big win for St. Clair County. Shelby County came into this game 5-0, undefeated. St. Clair County goes to Columbiana, and they beat the Wildcats tonight 28-21. Big win for the St. Clair County Saints on the road tonight. Collinsville and Sandrock, a couple of rival games involving Cherokee County teams tonight that were not close. Collinsville and Sandrock, big rivals. You see the series there, 20-16-1 all time, but Collinsville no problem tonight as they send Sandrock back up Lookout Mountain with a loss. Collinsville wins it 51-0. Huge win tonight. Number 3 in Class 4A, Cherokee County playing in Birmingham and Irondale tonight at the Knicks Athletic Complex against Shades Valley. Cherokee County wins the game, an impressive win. Now that's a 4A beating a 6A tonight. A very talented 6A team as Cherokee County wins it by a score of 20-6. Another game tonight, Verbena and Galesville playing at Verbena down in Chilton County, almost to Montgomery. Verbena, the Red Devils, win the game as they are now 5-0 as they beat the Galesville Trojans tonight, 36-24. We mentioned rival games. Spring Garden has only beaten Cedar Bluff 7 times in school history. One of those 7 was tonight. This was a big-time revenge game. Last year, Cedar Bluff came in and upset Spring Garden. Tonight, number 6 in Class 1A, Spring Garden, gets revenge big time as they go into LD Bruce Field in Cedar Bluff, and they beat their bitter arch rival Cedar Bluff tonight 54-0 big win for Spring Garden as they remain undefeated 6-0. Gaston on the road tonight in Huntsville taking on Whitesburg Christian. The Warriors win the game 41-0 tonight over the Gaston Bulldogs. We will have highlights of this game on the way. Number 9 breaking into the top 10 this week in the ASWA poll. Hoax Bluff Eagles remained undefeated. Big rival game with Glencoe. This is a streaky series. You know, Hoax Bluff won a lot, then Glencoe won a lot. Now Hoax Bluff has won 9 straight in the rivalry. Hoax Bluff tonight 35-0 winners over Glencoe. We will have highlights of that game coming from Wilson Darnell Field in Glencoe. Also tonight, not a final yet on Southside and Etowah. This is a 21-20 game late. We will have highlights of this game from Barty Hood Stadium in Southside. Big crowd out there. Still looking for a final on Southside and Etowah. This is our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance game of the week tonight. Number 5 in Class 2A Coosa Christian at home against number 3 and defending number 3 and 3A and defending 2A state champion 5 as they moved up this year. This was supposed to be a game played last night. They moved it to tonight. Coosa Christian. This is sending shockwaves around the state. Not that Coosa won, but Coosa Christian dominating the 5 Red Devils tonight, 29-2 at Philip Ellen Stadium in Gadsden. We will have Jordan Smith and Coach Michael Short. They're on their way back from Gadsden right now. They will have complete highlights of this game. They are going to have all the post-game reaction from Coach O'Brien and the Coosa Christian players. What an impressive win by Coosa Christian tonight, serving notice that they are certainly going to be a contender for that Class 2A state championship, as Coosa Christian, been a long time since 5 has been beaten like that. 29-2 tonight over in Gadsden. Gadsden City right across the interstate tonight. Number 8 Titans at home against 7A Bob Jones. Late in the game, Gadsden City was up 41-27 against Bob Jones. Should have a final on that one coming momentarily. West End and Vinemont still looking for a final in this game from Walnut Grove. Vinemont was up 36-0 at one point. That was late in the game, almost a final. We'll have a final for you coming up. Elba and Goshen. I think we may be having some technical difficulties back there, but we'll tell you, we're back. Number 5 Elba in 1A taking on number 10 Goshen in 2A. Elba wins the game tonight behind Alvin Henderson as Elba wins the game 48-34 tonight down in Coffee County at Elba. Brantley and Highland Home. Number 7 team in 1A, Brantley, hosting number 2 in 2A, Highland Home. Should have a final on that game. That's a Crenshaw County battle down Highway 331 in the heart of South Alabama. Sweetwater and Georgiana still looking for a final on this top 10 matchup in Class 1A being played tonight at Nolan Atkins Stadium in Sweetwater. Saraland and Montgomery Catholic. What a matchup that got canceled and not going to be made up. This is the number 1 team in the state in Class 6A taking on the number 1 team in the state in 5A, and they did not play the game, canceled because of the weather. So that game, again, will not be made up. This was a classic game tonight. Number 2 in 6A, Clay Chalkle, playing at number 3 in 7A, Thompson tonight in Alabaster. Came down to a missed field goal in overtime. This was an overtime game. Clay Chalkle beating Thompson tonight 14-13 in overtime, and a missed field goal by Thompson at the end of the game, and Clay Chalkle walks away with a win in overtime 14-13. Staying in Metro Birmingham, actually taking you to Madison, a Metro Birmingham team. Number 3 in 6A, Spain Park, taking on number 10 in 7A, James Clemens, and it was Spain Park winning as they remain undefeated 5-0 and handing James Clemens their first loss tonight as the Jaguars beat the Jets tonight in Madison 34-24. How about this one? Number 4 Parker, certainly a state title contender in Class 6A. They go into the Hoover Met tonight and they beat number 5 and 7A Hoover 14-10. Parker 14, Hoover 10. And Mountain Brook and Homewood, another top 10 matchup in Metro Birmingham in Class 6A. Playing at Spartan Stadium at Mountain Brook tonight. No final. We should have a final coming on that one in just a moment. Back on high school football, Alabama, after the game, let's tell you about the folks at Jacksonville State University, bringing you highlights every Friday night right here on After the Game. Jacksonville State University, dual enrollment. This is big. It's huge. You can take advantage of JSU's dual enrollment program. No application fee, and available scholarships. Just imagine getting a head start on your college education while saving both time and money. Enjoy the benefits like automatic admission and priority course registration when you enroll at Jack State. Get an early start on your Jack State journey. Go to jsu.edu/dual enrollment. Earlier, just a few moments ago, we had the Cleburne County High School cheerleaders with us here on After the Game, and they are back with us as our Anniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week, the Cleburne County High School Tigers from Heflin. Ladies.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team One Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team One Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on Prados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team One Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team One Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Alabama Teachers Credit Union, folks, in about 2 weeks, that's going to be done. They'll be known as Emblem Credit Union. As a matter of fact, I understand that they just had this week their big launch party for their employees, got new things coming out, all kind of new branding. They will become Emblem Credit Union. I believe that's October the 15th. That's a new name, but listen, the things are not going to change as far as all the great service you get. You can still go to atcu.com and you can be a member. It's very simple. If you live, you work, or you attend school in Calhoun, Cherokee, DeKalb, Etowah, or Marshall counties, you can be a member. Learn more at atcu.com. They are working very hard and very excited, and big things happening with Emblem Credit Union coming in the month of October. We've got a final score for you that we need to give to you right now. This, as we go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard, been hunting this one. Winterboro goes to 4-1 as they come into Weaver tonight into Bill Bryan Stadium. They keep the Bearcats winless as Winterboro wins the game 27-13. Back on high school football, Alabama after the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We're coming to you tonight from our Dad's Barbecue Top of the River Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston tonight. And it is time for our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser and fresh off the mountain. Talking about 10th Street Mountain here at Lynchfield tonight, where the Ohatchee Indians had a big win, 54-14 over the Donahoe Falcons. We promised you we had him here, and he's here right now. The head coach of the Ohatchee Indians, Coach Chris Finley. Coach, welcome in. Glad to have you with us once again on After the Game. Yes, your bunch has no problem in scoring points, and that happened again tonight, 54 at Donahoe. Take us through the game.
Yes, sir. We started a little slow on offense, but we got a couple of stops on defense and gave our offense time to work the kinks out, and then after that it was kind of, we got to rolling on offense again. So
watching your bunch play last week, you scored 64 against Weaver out there, and I had a chance to watch a lot of those points being scored on the sidelines and see this offense up close. Speed. You just got speed everywhere. When those guys get loose, they're gone to the house most of the time.
Right, yeah, we've got some weapons, and that's the reason. I mean, you guys have seen us play for the last 10 years in the Ugly Eagle offense and two tight ends and foot to foot. But, with Jake Robertson, our quarterback, coming back this year, and the things that he can do throwing the football and the weapons that we've got that can go catch the football and make plays, we decided to change things up and try to open it up some and see if we can go a little more up-tempo and score some points.
Coach, do you think that's one of the reasons that you've been so effective offensively is because people can't just prepare for the run anymore? Right. They've got to really respect the pass because Robertson's a big, tall guy with a big gun. Like you say, he's got receivers that can go get it. So that balanced offense, most coaches try to have that balance between running the ball and throwing the ball. You think that's been one of the keys is your ability to do both equally well?
100%. And that's the biggest thing we talk about is trying to make the defense defend the whole field. And that's, with the guys we got, Nate Jones at running back, and then you got our weapons on the outside with Colby Hester at receiver and Jaden Hurd at receiver, Braden Collins at receiver, and Drake Kay, who can do a bunch of different stuff for us right there. We've got the weapons to be able to make somebody defend the whole field, and we finally started to be able to. These past couple of weeks, I think we're getting better and better at having the balance and still being able to be physical and run the ball, but then spread it out when we need to spread it out and get it to our guys out there. And then I think our defense is starting to pick up a little bit now, too, these past couple of weeks.
About 2 months ago, exactly to the day, at the Calhoun County Football Media Day up here at the Country Club, you told me, and I think you told a lot of other folks there, said, if we have to, if we want to, we can throw the ball 45 times a game. Right. And I think most folks are like, Hatchie's going to throw the ball 45 times a game. But the parsing words here, you said, if we want to. Right. And that's a key, I think. If you want to do that, you can do that. Just tell us about the evolution of the passing game. Obviously, it begins with that weapon you have at quarterback.
Yes, and and Jake's as good as it gets. We haven't had a quarterback like that. You've seen us play the last 10 years or so. We've had more of our, whoever our best athlete is has been the quarterback, and they run the ball a whole lot. And we don't do, the passing game is, hey, we've run it 30 times and now we fake it and we're behind you. That's been our passing game for the past however many years. But just the weapon that Jake is at quarterback, we had to find a way to be able to use him, and especially with the weapons we've got, at the receiving positions and Nate at the running back position. So it's really like I said, it's about making a team defend the whole field. But we still want to be able to play physical. We still want to be able to run the ball, and that's what I've said these past couple of weeks. We've really sort of gotten back to let's run the ball, make them put guys in the box, right? And then we can get the ball and spread the ball out. I think that maybe we were a little reversed for a few weeks there, just because we were putting up points, and we still were. We're still effective offensively, but I think what we really want to be is a physical team that can spread it when we need to spread it.
You mentioned defense. You mentioned your defense tonight, only giving up 14 points. And, Bill Smith at Donahoe's known as an offensive guy that always has good offenses. And I know that's been a point of emphasis for you, has been the defense here this last few weeks. And so what did you see tonight out of your defense as you head into the back half of the season and down the home stretch and trying to get into the playoffs in 3A Region 6?
I think one thing we did for our defense in the past couple of weeks is simplify things. I think we were trying to do a whole bunch of different stuff, show different things, be in different things. I think, and this is something that, that we've got to learn a lesson from as coaches, and it's something that we've done in recent years when we've done too much on defense, or tried to do too much as coaches. We try to put too much on our players. They're not playing fast, they're thinking instead of playing. So that's what we try to do these past couple of weeks is simplify things and let guys play fast, let guys do their job, know what their job is before every play, and then go do their job.
Before we get into the region and start looking at the region standings, which we're going to look at and those kind of things, yeah, this is a 9-team region. If my memory is correct, we've had 9-team regions in the state before, but that's been down mostly in South Alabama where travel's been an issue. This is the first time, to my recollection, we've had a 9-team region in this part of the state, and it didn't start out that way because it started off as an 8-team region, and 4A Region 6 was going to be the 9-team region. Then some shuffling happened, and then that put you guys from a scheduling standpoint, because now you only have 2 non-region games, and one of those is on kind of an odd week where everybody else doesn't have an open date, so you're scrambling to get a schedule together, right?
Right. No, so and it's randomized when you get into the region meeting with a 9-team region like that. We got really lucky, and we ended up with our non-region in those standard weeks where they're normally non-region.
Yes.
So I still got to plan that way, and like tonight was a non-region, and the very first game was a non-region. So we looked up with our schedule, with our draw in the schedule, so it wasn't quite as tough, putting a schedule together. But yeah, it's a tough region. It's really local. You're talking about the travel. The travel is not really an issue. So it's everybody that's right around here, but it's tough week in and week out.
Well, let's take a look now. We're going to go to our region rundown. This is our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown, and here it is, Class 3A Region 6. Coach, Charlie Hinkle, our guy building these graphics, we started off the first year and said, we've never done a 9-team region before, John. How are we going to fit all these teams in here? There's the region right there. You got 3 teams at the top there, Coach, that are not only undefeated in the region, but they're undefeated overall. That speaks to the strength of this region. And, there's good football teams all throughout there. You're sitting there now 3-3, 1-3 in the region. Still got a lot of football left to play. Every game that you have left now, your non-region's done. Every game you've got left is region. So your impressions and kind of give us your thoughts on what we're seeing right here in Class 3A Region 6.
Well, it's a brutal region, and I mean, you see there at the top, you got 3 teams that are undefeated, not just in region play, but overall play. But you look all the way down through there, and the thing that you notice is that there's no soft part of this region. There's no soft part of the schedule. Every week is tough. It's a top to bottom tough region. But like you said, we've got a lot of football to play. We started slow, but there's a lot that can still be done. A lot still on the table as far as what happens with the rest of the region.
As we continue looking at that region there, and you mentioned this about the travel, but I think there's another aspect I want you to talk about too. For the young people, the players, and maybe coaches too. Okay, you got Locust Fork, you got J.B. Pennington. They're in Blount County. They're probably 40, 50 miles away, something like that. But besides those two, you've got teams that you've been playing for a long time that you have a lot of history with there, Westbrook and Sachs and Glencoe and Weaver and Piedmont and Welborn and all that. Does that help as far as the players looking forward every week, keeping them focused? Did they enjoy that? Do the coaches enjoy playing a team that you know about as opposed to a team from maybe that you never even heard of before?
Right. Absolutely, and it's the thing, like you said, it's not just that we've been playing them at the high school level. Our kids have been playing these teams, since they were in Little League. They play them in Little League, play them in junior high, play them in JV. So you got a lot of kids that know the other guys on the side, on the other side of the sideline. So it makes getting guys up for games and getting the energy level up, a lot easier with your guys if they know who's on the other sideline and they're going to compete with them and talk to them after the game and want to be able to talk trash after the game.
As we bring it back here to the set, let's talk about the rest of your schedule. Walk us through that.
So we've got Westbrook next week. That's a huge one, and that's the thing. When you start as slow as we did off the start of our region, we lost our first 3 region games. When you start that slow, there is no more breaks. There is no more, we can have this game or not have this game. Every game is pivotal from here on out, and that starts this week with Westbrook, and Steve Smith does a fantastic job, and those guys are getting better every week. I feel like I look at their score every week, and I feel like they get better every week. So that's what's next. There's no breaks, like I said earlier. There's no breaks in this region. Every week's tough.
Well, you go back, if you're looking for just a great high school football game to go see next week, last year you guys came down to a 2-point conversion attempt at the end of the game. That was 34-33 game,
I think that's
something
right,
like that. Last year at your place out at the Creek Bank. So history, if it's an indication of what the future is going to be, that looks like it could be some kind of football game.
Yeah, that was a really good football game last year. Really good football game. We sort of jumped on them early, and they came back on us late, and we got to stop on a 2-point conversion there to get the win by 1. So, yeah, it was a good, fun game last year, and I'm sure it'll be the same this year.
What are you looking at as we go down this home stretch? Because I'll tell you, you've been in this region for a long time, both as an assistant and as a head coach. You've been in a tough region, this kind of region. Last year, obviously, with the Sylvanias and Geraldines and folks like that in there. The point is, when you come out of a region like you've always played in at Ohatchee, you can play with anybody in this state in 3A. It's just a lot of times it's just getting there. So for Ohatchee to get there, to get in the playoffs, what's got to happen?
We got to keep. I think we've started really making progress these last couple of weeks as a football team. I've told our guys the whole time. Even you go on the 3-game losing streak right there, and it's like, guys, everything that we want is still there for us. Everything is still possible for us to get if we will get it together ourselves. It's going to be about what we do week in and week out, and it's about our practice, right? So you're gonna play like you practice. So you can't come out here and think you're going to loaf around at practice and then turn it on Friday night. That's not how things work. So I think we've turned a corner here. At some point, it was, I told the guys, hey, there is no more weeks left where we can lose this game and hey, we still got it. No, it's here, it's now, and we had the conversation about getting on the bus. Either you're getting on the bus with us or you're getting off. So we had that conversation. I think guys have responded really well to it, and I'm hoping that we've turned a corner with it. It feels like we're starting to these last couple of weeks.
It's hard to believe we've played some teams, like your team has played 6 games already. I mean, over half the season is gone now. Those guys that are seniors, that's a big thing we always talk about, and those guys just don't believe how quick this passes by. Those guys have got 4 guaranteed games left of their high school playing career. You know how that is.
Goes fast.
How fast it goes, and how awesome it is to play high school football, and how these memories stay with you for a lifetime. Is that something that you're hammering home to these guys this home stretch?
Absolutely. That's the thing. And we talked about that a lot in recent years when I was coaching with a bunch of guys that I played with in high school. Coach Jennings at White Plains, we were coaching together at Ohatchee for a long time, and that was something that we could kind of say together, like, hey, like, our fondest memories are of playing high school football together, and you can stress to them, hey, it goes so quick, and you're going to think about this, and you're going to think about that. You're going to remember every little detail along the way. So, that's something we definitely stress to them.
Coach, thank you for being with us. I know it's been a long night, road game. Rain out there, wind, all of that going on. Thank you for spending time with us here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game.
Yes, sir.
Chris Finley on our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. He's the head coach of the Ohatchee Indians. Ohatchee winners tonight on the road at Donahoe over the Falcons, 54-14. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
Understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path, You have the power to make a difference. Explore new horizons and turn your passions into your future. At Jax State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Dad's Barbecue and Top of the River bringing you our media center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. And let me just tell you, they have been doing barbecue at Dad's since 1985. Their North Anniston location, fantastic homemade menu, hickory smoked meats. They've got barbecue, they've got ribs, they've got turkey, ham, chicken. They've got Dad's sweet tea, the best around, cooked fresh in a kettle every day. Sandwiches and breads are made fresh with a potato roll that makes all their sandwiches special. They have fantastic employees, fantastic people. Go check them out at Dad's Barbecue. Some big football games coming up tomorrow, and you'll want to make sure you have some Dad's Barbecue to enjoy those games with for college football on a Saturday. We're back on high school football. Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder with Coach Michael Short tonight. Chad Barnett has the night off. He'll be in shortly. They're coming in from the Coosa Christian 5 game. We'll have complete highlights of that coming up. Right now, it's time to go back through our USA Softball of Alabama's scoreboard. Get you all the final scores from across East Alabama. Number 4 Piedmont. Highlights of this game coming. They win tonight over the B.B. Comer Tigers 58-16 at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. White Plains, big winner tonight. Close game. They beat Horseshoe Bend 28-27. Ohatchee, you just heard Chris Finley talking about the Indians win over Donahoe 54-14. Oxford tonight are reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. They remain undefeated with a 35-10 win at Helena. Walter Welborn remains undefeated. They beat Cleveland County 41-10. Pleasant Grove, number 2 team in the state in 4A, shuts out Anniston 30-0. Sacs tonight wins over Central of Coosa County 42-0. Head coach of the Sacs Wildcats, Alfonso Freeney, is going to join us right here live in just a few moments on After the Game. Sacs wins tonight. Alexandria goes to 3-2 with a road win tonight at Sardis 36-14. Winterboro beats Weaver 27-13. It was Corner coming from behind by 2 touchdowns. Number 9 Corner remains undefeated as they win at Jacksonville tonight 35-28. Highlights of that game coming on After the Game. Not a misprint in Montgomery tonight. Ezekiel Academy beats Jacksonville Christian 80-58 tonight. On the other extreme, Pleasant Valley wins at Woodland 8-6. Randolph County beats Ranburne 41-0 tonight over at Ranburne. Hanley beats Lynette 31-12. Wadley and Glenwood, this game was canceled, will not be played. Central of Clay County, the bus broke down. One of the buses broke down in Fort Payne on the way to Scottsboro. Didn't face Central of Clay County, number 3 team in the state in 5A, beating number 7 5A Scottsboro. They hand the Wildcats their first loss tonight at Trammell Stadium, 35-21. Central Clay wins it. Sylacauga, they win tonight over Jemison. Sylacauga now 3-3. Chris Smelly and the Aggies win over the Jemison Panthers tonight, 28-14 at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. Raglan shutting out Fayetteville 35-0. Childersburg and Vincent still looking for a final score on that game from John Cox Stadium in Childersburg. ASD and Mississippi School for the Deaf, another game that was canceled. Talladega and Asheville, that game being played tonight at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. Talladega trying to break a long losing streak. Still looking for a final on that game. Talladega was up 13-8 in the second half. Still looking for a final on that game. Westbrook Christian tonight wins at Munford 52-21. Lincoln falls tonight in Tuscaloosa County at Northside 33-0, the final score in that game. Northside 33, Lincoln 0. Victory Christian wins tonight in Marion against the Francis Marion Rams 25-20. Moody and Auburn scheduled for Thursday night. That game was canceled and will not be made up. St. Clair County, huge win tonight for the Saints as they roll into Columbiana and beat previously unbeaten Shelby County 28-21. Collinsville beats their arch rival Sandrock tonight 51-0 at Collinsville. Cherokee County, number 3 team in 4A, goes on the road in Irondale tonight. They beat 6A Shades Valley 20-6. Big win for the Warriors. Verbena tonight at home in Chilton County beats Galesville 36-24. Spring Garden remains undefeated, number 6 team in 1A, as they shut out Cedar Bluff tonight 54-0. Big revenge game for Spring Garden. Whitesburg Christian shuts out Gaston 41-0. Another shutout tonight. Number 9 Hoax Bluff beating Glencoe 35-0. We will have highlights of that game from Wilson Darnell Field at Glencoe. Southside and Etowah. This was a great football game, and we will have highlights of this game from Barney Hood Stadium in Southside tonight. Southside beats Etowah back and forth. Great game tonight. 45th meeting of the Panthers and Blue Devils, and it will go down as one of the better games in that series. Southside beats Etowah tonight 41-34 in that big rival game. Our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week, that is a correct score. Number 5 team in the state in 2A, Coosa Christian, flexing their muscles big time tonight. They beat number 3 in 3A, Fife, the defending 2A champion, 29-2. This game was supposed to be last night, moved to tonight over at Philip Ellen Stadium in Gadsden. We will have complete highlights of that game. Jordan Smith, Coach Michael Short will have you all the post-game interviews and all the highlights of Coosa's massive win tonight over the Fife Red Devils, 29-2. Gadsden City, this is now a final. They have won over 7A Bob Jones tonight. Gadsden City, number 8 team in 6A, beating Bob Jones 40-27. West End and Vinemont. Vinemont, this is now a final. They keep West End winless tonight as they win at Walnut Grove 36-6. Games around the state. Number 5 in 1A Elba beating number 10 in 2A Goshen 48-34 tonight. Brantley and Highland Home, the number 2 team in 2A Highland Home, all over the number 7 team in 1A Brantley tonight. It's a big rival game on Highway 331 in Crenshaw County. Highland Home wins it 36-6. Sweetwater and Georgiana, another high-scoring game, a top 10 matchup in Class 1A at Sweetwater tonight. The Bulldogs beat Georgiana 57-34 tonight. Saraland and Montgomery Catholic canceled, won't be made up. Sorry we missed that game. That was going to be a great one. Number 1 team in 6A versus the number 1 team in 5A, but that game canceled because of the hurricane, will not be made up. Overtime tonight. Huge football game in Alabaster. Number 2, defending state champion in 6A, Clay Chalkle, remains undefeated, getting ready for a huge matchup in 2 weeks with Oxford at Lamar Field. They beat the number 3 team in 7A, Thompson, tonight at Thompson 14-13 in overtime. Thompson misses a field goal. Clay Chalkle hangs on to win 14-13 in overtime. Spain Park tonight remains undefeated. Number 3 team in 6A at number 10 in 7A, James Clemens, tonight. They beat the Jets in Madison 34-24. How about the Parker Thundering Herd, number 4 team in 6A, on the road at number 5 Hoover tonight. They hand the Bucks their second loss, 14-10 the final, as Parker wins at Hoover tonight. Also, We now have this final score in. Mountain Brook beat Homewood. This was a top 10 matchup in Class 6A. Mountain Brook bouncing back after their loss to Oxford last week, 27-22. The number 10 team in 6A beating Homewood tonight, 27-22. Time for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship. We've got 2 more schools now that we're going to be voting for beginning at 12 midnight tonight on our High School Football Alabama Facebook page. You can go there. We've got 2 female and 2 male athletes from both Piedmont High School and Spring Garden High School that we're going to be voting for tonight. We're narrowing this down from 80 student athletes to 40. Those 40 will get a $50 gift card courtesy of Farmers and Merchants Bank. And then you're going to select through our automated system and through your voting. We're going to combine that together, and we are going to have 1 female student athlete, 1 male student athlete from here in East Alabama. Each of those going to win a $1,500 apiece college scholarship courtesy of the folks at Farmers and Merchants Bank. So the voting will be open at midnight tonight, lasting till 12 noon next Friday, October 4th. Let's begin with Piedmont High School. We've got 2 female students, Josie Young with a 4.068 GPA, basketball player for the Lady Bulldogs. Also representing Piedmont, Morgan Studdard, basketball and cross-country athlete with a 4.651 GPA. Also, the male nominees from Piedmont High School, Caleb Tidwell, 4.528 GPA, a football, wrestling, and track athlete for the Bulldogs. And our final nominee from Piedmont is Noah Farmer, a 4.339 GPA, plays football, basketball, and golf. Now, let's go just up the highway and across the county line to Spring Garden. You may have heard of this student athlete right here. Coach Shorts joined us in here. I think he even has heard of her. Ace Austin. 4.08 GPA, committed to play basketball for the University of Alabama. Look at her. Already got her Alabama jersey on there. Volleyball and basketball player last year, leading both of those to state championships at Spring Garden in Class 1A. Look at that 4.08 GPA. Avery Stewart, a 4.25 GPA. She's flashing some state championship rings there. A volleyball, basketball, and softball player for the Garden. Male athletes for Spring Garden, Connor Bates, outstanding running back, 3.8 GPA. Football, basketball, and baseball player. And I just lost my monitor there. It's back now. And Noah Barber, also the outstanding quarterback for Spring Garden, football, basketball, and baseball player with a 3.88 GPA. And that's our Spirit Scholarship nominees from Spring Garden and Piedmont High Schools. Voting starts in about an hour and 15 minutes at 12 midnight, and then that will continue all the way until 12 noon next Friday on our Facebook page. Go and check that out and vote for your favorite student athlete at our F&M Bank Spirit Scholarship contest that we have going on. Let's talk about team sports. I love going out there and visiting the McClellan Sports and Outdoors at McClellan, right across from the Aquatic Center, the City of Anniston's Aquatic Center. Great store out there. Go to McClellansports.com and see all the great items they have. They not only have all the sporting goods needs you have, but they also service over 100 schools with their sporting goods needs as well. Put this into your GPS, 135 Exchange Avenue, Anniston, that's on McClellan. Go out and check out the folks at McClellan Sports and Outdoors, bringing you our highlights here on High School Football Alabama after the game. We come back, we're going to talk Sachs High School football. Head coach of the Wildcats, Alfonso Freeney, joins us live on After the Game.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Jim, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County. here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Let's tell you about the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. They do such great, awesome work. They provide scholarships, thousands of dollars in scholarships to football players right here in Calhoun County. They also do a great job hosting, I think as good a job as anybody in the state does, of hosting the Calhoun County Football Media Day every July. And then they have great speakers that come in, and you can still be a part of this. For membership information, call David Woodard, 256-239-4481. He's a Sachs graduate. He's a Sachs guy. It is David. Look at that schedule. Hey, they got Bill Clark, the former UAB, and Jack State head coach coming in on September 30th, which is Monday. He'll be at the Anniston Country Club, a guy that Coach Short and I know very well. I could tell you some good stories about me and Bill Clark. We'll have to tell a story one night about the night he and I went to the wrestling matches over in Atlanta. Big win right there. You see it. Talladega tonight gets not only their first win for Damian Dorsey as head coach. Talladega beats Asheville tonight at Mary Dumas Stadium, 35-28. That snapped a 26-game losing streak for the Talladega Tigers. Big win tonight for Talladega tonight. Can't put a really on how big that was to kind of get that off their back. I know that's been a burden for the folks at Talladega. Congratulations to Damian Dorsey and the Talladega Tigers tonight, winning over Asheville 35-28. Back on high school football, Alabama's after the game. We're going back to our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. I've made a couple of allusions there to Sachs, and we have the head coach of the Sachs High School Wildcats who are with us now, Alfonso Freeney. Look at that smile, guys. Look at that smile, because his team tonight won 42-0. It was homecoming tonight. Everything good in the land of the Wildcats, Coach?
Hey, it was a good night. It was a good night, and I'm proud of my kids, and I'm really, really happy for our seniors.
Awesome. Tell us about the game tonight. Obviously, offense did well, 42 points. Defense did well, shutout. Couldn't much be better, I would think.
Absolutely. Our offense started fast for the first time all season. Our defense have been doing really well, but for them to end up getting a shutout, like that just is a testament to how prepared Coach Tolson was. And he's been doing a great job at getting those guys ready. He's my defensive coordinator. I actually played with him at Jack State. We played together there, and they did a good job, and the guys got after it. So they did a really good job. I was very proud of them. LaJuan Curry, he had a big game today, or tonight. He had, I think, over about 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and, we've just been waiting offensively to have a great game like that, and they finally had it tonight. Up front, they did a great job. And, Coosa, they had some athletes. They had some athletes, and I think that's going to get us ready for, the future in our region games.
Coach, I've been watching each week, for highlights, and it seems, and I've been telling everybody, I said, it's happening. It's going to happen. Y'all been getting better every week. You've been getting better and better and better each week, and I think maybe tonight, you never know what a win will catapult you in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I agree with that. And our kids, and it's crazy because people have been telling them that, and one of my seniors came, he's like, Coach, I'm tired of hearing it. Like, I want to win. So, and tonight they really came out and played a complete game, and I'm hoping that will catapult us into, the end of the last half of the season with these region games. As you guys know, our region is a tough region, and they know how important these last few region games are going to be.
Well, if they've worked hard. They worked just as hard as anybody else, and they finally saw that come, tonight. It all means something. They finally get that win, and just tell us a little bit about, what it would mean for those kids to find a way to get into the playoffs.
Oh man, that'd be huge, and they deserve it. They deserve it. I have a great group of seniors, and they've been working hard all season, and even at practice, like they practice hard. It's just different from last year. You can kind of tell the feel at practice, the feel in the locker room, and the camaraderie with those guys. So they really want to get in the playoffs, and they can. They've played every game this season. They've been in. We started out at Piedmont. Those guys came out, and if we could have put 4 quarters together, it would have been a different story. And again, we can't. Football's not just a half. So we just got to continue to put full games together, and I think that we can make the playoffs.
Well, it's a process, and maybe tonight they finally saw that process takes 4 quarters.
Absolutely.
And now they can take that into the next week, and the next week, and the next week.
Absolutely, and we've came out the second half and we came out flat. And tonight was the first night that we didn't. We came out, we scored, and offense and our defense got to stop. And matter of fact, I think they got a turnover. So we just got to build off of it. And that was my message to the kids after the game: is we have to continue to build off of tonight. Like, we can't relax. We have to continue to chase greatness.
I got to ask you this. Homecoming to me when I was a head coach was a nightmare. And every coach that comes here, it's a nightmare. But I know you got to say how it's the greatest time of the year, but maybe this is, you could act like it's homecoming every week.
Hey, no, I cannot. I cannot.
I heard him under his breath there, Coach, say, I hate homecoming.
I hate it. It's fun for the kids, but it always breeds that extra layer of, I go home at night after practice and I'm worried. Like, somebody gonna sprain an ankle while they're out rolling houses or something like that, And now our kids, it's funny. So they have this thing called water wars, and they literally chase each other around with water guns and stuff like that. So that was the thing this year, and I kind of lost my mind on them at practice because I heard a few of them were out doing it this week, and so it's kind of a funny thing. I came out there on the golf cart, and it was raining one day. I was like, Water Wars 24, and now the kids starting to break it down on Water Wars 24. So it was a little fun, and and I want them to have fun. Like, I want them to be kids. I was there once, and I've been through homecoming. I want them to enjoy homecoming. That's why I let our kids participate in homecoming.
Well, yeah. Well, a part of being a great football coach, and you're learning. You're in your head coaching career. You're actually young in your career. Is finding out a way for those guys to be able to have fun and then know when it's time to focus and get ready for the ball game.
Absolutely. And I think they did a great job. They had fun, and we had a lot of festivities today, and then they came and they locked in and they took care of business tonight. So I was real, real proud of them.
Coach, I've seen your team play twice. I was there for the first half of the Piedmont game, there for that win that you had at Weaver there, which was that's a tough fought win right there, a big rival game. So you got a couple wins under your belt now, got a region win. Watching you, and Coach and I have talked about this already here on the show this year, I think the most dangerous team in 3A football is probably the Sacs Wildcats, because like you said, you played toe-to-toe for a long time with Piedmont. You've been in every game and not very far away from that. And we've been saying this is a team that you better look out for, is Sacs. We talked with Coach Finley earlier from Ohatchee about, because you're in the same region, being in this 9-team region. you've played both of your non-region games now, so the rest of the way, it's all region games. Tell us about that.
I mean, it's every week we're going to treat a playoff week. You know, we've got to win. If you want to get in, you got to win. So that's what we talk to our kids about, and they know it. And we do. We track it. And, you know, it's tough. We have J.B. Pennington coming up. We still have Glencoe, Ohatchee, Locust Ford. So everything that we want is still in front of us, but we have to win. And that's kind of, you know, a sense of urgency. And I talk to the kids a lot about having urgency in everything that you do. And we have to have a sense of urgency right now. We have to, there's no more give-me's, you know. There's no more, oh, my bad, like we can still go next week. You have to win now in this region, or you may not get a chance to get in.
Let's talk about that region in depth. Last year, we kind of talked for years this region was kind of a Etowah, Calhoun County region. Then the last 2 years previous to this year, it kind of split. You were playing teams like Beulah and Dadeville and all those Childersburg and all those kind of people. Now it's kind of made whole again. You got Locust Fork and J.B. Pennington, as you mentioned in there, but you got a lot of local teams, and this region is mighty, mighty tough. Tell us kind of your thoughts on this Class 3A Region 6.
It is tough, but I love it. I love it because, like, you know, we played Welborn the week before, and all my kids knew those kids.
Yes.
You know, and that's the really cool thing is they all know each other. They played against each other their whole life, and I really like that aspect of it. But it's tough, you know. There's no week where it's like, oh, okay, like we got a break this week. There's no breaks, but it's also fun. And for a coach, I love the preparation part of it. Like I love being able to have to watch film on great teams, have to try to prepare for great teams, and then get the kids ready for playing great teams. So, you know, I really like it. I enjoy it. The travel is so much better, you know, a lot better. You know, we're not going to Beulah, Dadeville, you know, Randolph County. So those things, that's nice. And, you know, I think it's nice for the kids and it's nice for the fans, especially we're trying to get the community, you know, involved more. So we've had a lot more community involvement because I think, you know, the games are a lot closer. So I'm real excited about that.
Coach, I'm excited for you because I've seen that y'all are getting better and better each week. And y'all have the athletes to compete against anybody else you play.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. You got the athletes to do it, and maybe tonight's win will, you know, get those guys thinking positive. Hey, we can win.
Absolutely.
We just got to go out there and keep getting better in practice. You know, they worry much whoever you play next and next. They can't worry about that. They just got to worry about making themselves better.
Right. Worry about sacks.
Worry about sacks.
If
you get sacked better, then y'all got a chance in every ball game you play from here on out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they have, like, we're so close and they're so close and they know it. They know it. But I hope tonight's a breakthrough. You know, like guys like Ja'Cory Avery had a big night. And, you know, he's just been right there on the cusp of having a big night offensively, and he finally had that big night. Again, I talk about LaJuan Curry. You know, he's a kid that plays, he's our slash. He plays receiver, he can play running back, he plays quarterback, and we kind of made that switch, and he's been really doing a good job running the offense. And, you know, tonight it went through him, and he made plays when he needed to make plays, and that's the kids that I know we have. But also those guys up front. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but all season we've been starting an 8th grader at center, you know, and he's been doing a great job, you know, a really good job. And, you know, you got Mason Stevens. We have a really good offensive line and a really good defensive line with Justin Cosper. And I think sometimes those guys get overlooked because they are really, really good and they're really, really physical. So, you know, we do have a really good football team. And, you know, we're in a tough region. And I think from last year we're a lot better, but I think we're so close to hitting that playoff team, being a great football team level.
And sometimes it just takes something good to happen to you to get you over the hump.
That's it, absolutely.
And Coach, my wife's a Saks graduate, so I know she's pleased tonight that her Wildcats won on homecoming tonight, so I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Coach, thank you so much for being with us, taking time to be here. And I think we gave him a break, Coach, getting out of the homecoming activities. Coach Alfonso Freeney is the head coach of the Saks Wildcats. Big winners tonight on homecoming out at Jack Stewart Field at Saks Stadium as they win tonight over Central of Coosa County. They beat the Cougars tonight by a score of 42-0. Let's tell you about our great friends at the Calhoun County Commission. This is folks that are all 100% Calhoun County. They do so many great things in our local schools, in our parks, our communities. Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, Lee Patterson, helping all the school systems in Calhoun County and also the great tourist attractions we have. They bring you every week. They're the presenting sponsor of high school football Alabama's After the Game. We'll be back with more as we roll on a Football Friday night.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
Oh, thank you. Anything we can do for you, Coach. Thank you for coming.
Perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anderson Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all of your banking needs with exceptional technology, customized just for you, while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule.
So where did she find all that? Right here at RMC.
Wow, these guys are everywhere. I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
Judd Edwards, State Farm Insurance, coming up a little bit later on the program. You're going to see our game of the week from Coosa Christian, between Coosa Christian and Fife. I can't wait to see the highlights and the post-game reaction from that game. Judd Edwards is your local choice for insurance and financial services. Ride with the #1 auto insurance company in Alabama, on the phone, online, or in person. His team is here to serve you. He's right there on Ross Street in downtown Heflin, but serves all of East Alabama, and he's been doing this since 2020. Help him help your family. Insure what counts the most. Judd Edwards, State Farm Insurance in Heflin. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game. Coach Michael Short with me tonight. Chad Barnett has the night off, and it's time to roll into some highlights tonight. We've got team sports highlights. Big game tonight, homecoming at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Piedmont hosting the B.B. Comer Tigers, coming up from Sylacauga tonight. And it was rainy and windy tonight at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Let's take you out there to the Field of Champions in Piedmont for the game highlights tonight as we look at some of the rain and the wind and so forth going on in Piedmont tonight between Piedmont and BB Combs. We're still waiting on that video. Let's see. We got that's our, we'll go ahead and, there we go. There we go. You see some of the raindrops. We were actually under a tent thanks to the folks at BB Comer before the game. Yeah, Coach, we were under a tent. Here come the Bulldogs running out on homecoming. A 16-yard punt by Piedmont. Not the best of start for the Bulldogs. That was from the 43 to the 42, but they got things rolling. Cole Wilson, after being injured last week, back at quarterback. Look who he's looking for. Number 22, Raleigh Pinto, a 31-yard touchdown pass. The PAT was good, and Piedmont was up 7-0. Here's the big bruiser, Hayes Gunn, running back for the Bulldogs. You see why we call him a big bruiser? A 14-yard run for the Bulldogs. Then the Bulldogs again going back to pass. 3rd down and 24 at the 50. And there's Raleigh Pinto again, a 50-yard touchdown pass, taking it to the house, weaving his way through the BB Comer defenders, gets a final push into the end zone. PAT is good, and Piedmont is up 14-0 in the first quarter. Now we come back, and we've got BB Comer going down the field with a pass going to be intercepted by Ben Dempsey at the 8-yard line, and Dempsey is going to take this all the way back way deep into BB Comer territory, all the way back down to about the 25-yard line goes Dempsey, and then again, another big pass. Cole Wilson, showing no ill effects from that injury, finds Ish Bethel. Bethel runs over a couple of BB Comer defenders all the way down to the 4-yard line, and they get to the 4-yard line. Who do they give it to? The big guy, number 1, Hayes Gunn, with a 4-yard touchdown run. Extra point was blocked by Piedmont, as you'll, or by BB Comer here, as you'll see. 20-0 Piedmont as they roll 58-16 tonight over BB Comer as they go to 5-0, ranked number 4 in the state in Class 3A. Back with Coach Michael Short. Coach, tonight you can just kind of watching the game up there tonight, 20-0 when we left. Just a typical Piedmont performance. The one thing that we noticed, some struggles with Coach Fawcett and BB Comer in the passing game. And then it's tough, as you know, Coach, from watching Piedmont through the years. Doesn't matter who the coach is up there. It's tough to run the football against the Bulldogs, and that's what BB Comer ran into. Kamari Harris is gone. He's at Memphis now. They don't have another one back there, and Piedmont really totally shutting down the BB Comer run game in the time that we were there.
Well, if you make a team one-dimensional, then you got half the battle won, and it seems like that's what they did. You know, when I watch number 1, and he's got that first name Hayes, he looks a lot like that guy that used to be there, and his last name was Hayes.
Yes.
And he runs that way. I mean, when he gets in there, he just runs over people and runs real strong. I mean, that's one thing I noticed. I noticed it last year when he first started playing. That kid's a good player. But the thing I watch is Piedmont, with a young offensive line, is getting better each week. Each week they're getting better and better and better. And that's what's going to win ball games for them. Their defense is young up front, and they're stopping people already, you know, forcing them to throw the football. And if you can't, you don't really have a chance. And that's what Piedmont's doing. They've done a good job of taking away what people do best.
And one of the things, I've got a big challenge coming up next week at the Field of Champions, Coach. Haven't made the final decision yet, but I would not be surprised if maybe you're up there watching the game next week between Piedmont and Locust Fork. So that is going to be, we talk about all the great players that Piedmont has, and then we're going to have an extra point coming up a little bit later on tonight about Dylan Dino Embry, the leading rusher not only in the state of Alabama, but the leading rusher in America in high school football through this early part of the season. There's going to be a lot of hype about this game. A lot of people are going to be talking about this might be a region championship type game or something like that. Welburn's going to have a say-so to say about that for sure, and some other teams, but there's going to be a lot of hype coming up about this game next week.
Well, the thing that, and I've seen both of them play, and just if I had to, I'm not going to pick. I'm not going to do that.
No,
but I'm just saying that Piedmont is maybe a little bit more well-rounded. They can throw the football effectively. They can run the football effectively. And I'll tell you what, they better be ready to stop the run, because they're going to see all the run they want versus Dino, I think is what they call him, Dino, however you want to call it. He's a great player. And he's got a receiver that plays for him that is playing for his first year. Never played football before, and he's probably got to be up there in the top 3 or 4 leading the state in return or catches.
And you know the thing about this Locust 14, they put up a lot of points, and it may be an offense versus defense because Piedmont doesn't give up a lot of points. If you want to compare scores and things like that, you know, Locust Fork gave up 43 to Westbrook. Piedmont gave up 10. So that's one thing to look at right there. The thing that makes Locust Fork unique with Embry is he is a quarterback. It's kind of like Jack Hayes.
Yes.
He's a quarterback, and so he averages 324 yards or 342 yards a game rushing from the quarterback position.
And they put him in a lot of different places. I mean, they'll shift him out of the way and snap it because they got another running back there that can run the football too. I think what it'll come down to is Piedmont, they want to score points, but Piedmont will want to control the line of scrimmage and keep the ball for those 8 and 9 play drives to keep the ball away from Locust Fork. And that's what it'll come down to. And as I always say, I have seen both of them play, but it's going to come down to which one of them can get the job done in the kicking game. Because Raleigh Pinto is dangerous at returning punts, returning kickoffs. You know, if they can get a big kickoff return or a big punt return or block a punt, that's going to be very important in this ball game is who has the best kicking game is what it's going to come down to. It always does in big games.
Coach, today I had a chance to be down at that marvelous, I call it new because it's still really new, athletic facility at Oxford High School. Went in the team meeting room. They are the reigning this week from the past weeks, Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. We were there with the awards to remember, Tough Guy Trophy, the Ted's T-shirts, the Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts. Coach, I'll just tell you, and you've seen this a couple of times when you've been out there. When we turn that shirt around and show the score, I love to see the look on the players' faces, especially when they've won a game like Oxford won last week, 2-point conversion, kind of a walk-off. 29-28, when we turned that around today and showed it to them, just the look on their faces, the big smiles that come up, you can tell they cannot wait to put on those Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts and walk around.
And head to Birmingham. They all may have made a trip over to Birmingham so Mountain Brook could see it, but I've seen it already this year, especially if it's a rivalry game.
Yes.
And they win that rivalry game, they go crazy. They put them on right then and go ahead and wear them. Hope it don't cause any fights anywhere with it. Who knows?
Let's take you out to Oxford and show you some of the sights today. Oxford, of course, was out of school, so we're in their team room, just a marvelous facility there. Let's take you out to the team room there. They were out of school, so this was about 1 o'clock this afternoon as they were about to have a team meeting, getting ready to go to Helena. They beat Helena tonight 35-10, so the entire team was in there. I love what Coach Adams does. Coach, he calls roll. He has an iPad there, and he is calling roll to make sure everybody's there. There's the moment when I showed him this T-shirt with the score on the back, and I wish you could have seen the faces there. Also, the Ted's T-shirts as well. We had our Tough Guy Trophy from Awards to Remember, and you're going to see the folks here from Ted's Floors and Beyond. Cole and Jason there presenting the Tough Guy Trophy to the seniors there at Oxford High School today. And we appreciate the folks from Ted's Floors and Beyond for helping us out with this. And they also got 106 score shirts from Anniston Orthopedics. They also got 106 black and gold Ted's shirts as well, Coach.
Black and gold. You know, if you're looking at that, do you notice right there?
Yeah, that's.
Is that NFL that Dave Oxford is represented at those teams?
Thought that there's the seniors there holding up those Ted shirts. I'm not sure. They came in there, the assistant coaches, and started putting that there. And I was going to say,
I'm going to find out.
What you're going to find out. I don't know if that was something that they, all the
but some of the
signals
players,
and things like that. But
very well could be.
But they've got a lot of players in the NFL. To your point,
that's what I'm thinking it is. But we'll check and see.
All right, time for our first extra point of the night, presented by Randy Wood, state representative out of District 36. We got some good ones for you tonight. Here's one of them. Coach, next week's Class 4A Region 6 showdown between Anniston and Cherokee County will only be the 15th meeting between the Bulldogs and Warriors. Anniston holds a 10-4 series lead and won the first 8 matchups. However, the Bulldogs' 4 losses have all come in the past 8 years. The Warriors have won 4 of the last 6 meetings, including the last 2. Anniston and Cherokee County meet next Friday night at Bobby Joe Johnson Field in Center. Back with more of After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anderson Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Addison Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Young Oil, Grub Mark, great supporters of high school football and all high school sports here in East Alabama, including presenting our muscle team, outstanding offensive and defensive lines across East Alabama. And we're going to see the muscle team for this week here in just a moment. Grub Mart is all over the place here in East Alabama. They're in Cherokee County. They're in Etowah, certainly in Calhoun, down in Lee County. They're in places like Center, Piedmont, Jacksonville, Gadsden, Southside, Alexandria, Oxford, Opelika, Auburn, all over East Alabama. Young Old Grub Mart, they got the Super Saver card, part of the Marathon Rewards program. Fantastic folks who do a great job of supporting high school athletics here in East Alabama, including our muscle team. And we're going to talk about that coming up right now. Our Young Oil Grub Mart muscle team for this week is going to be the offensive line from the Ohatchee High School Indians. And let me just tell you about these guys right here. That looks like a muscle team, does it not? Let me tell you about these guys. Last week against Weaver, not only did they help the offense score 64 points, that's pretty good, 583 yards of total offense last week. Here's the guys: Gus Hunter, Canyon Cox, Owen Abernathy, Hayden Ford, and Braxton Davis. That's the starting offensive line for the Ohatchee Indians. And tonight, they only scored 54 at Donahoe, so they keep it up. One of the high-flying offenses in all of Alabama. All that speed Ohatchee has, they can't get anywhere without those guys. That's our young old Grub Mart muscle team for this week. Before we get to our band of the week, we want to give you our last final score that we've been hunting for the night. That's number 6 in Class 2A, Vincent, tonight going into John Cox Stadium in Childersburg, and they come out still undefeated 5-0 as they beat Childersburg 30-0 in the 25th meeting between the Tigers and the Yellow Jackets. Now it is time for our Alabama Teachers Credit Union Band of the Week. And, Coach, we got a good one this week. We're going to talk about a bunch of marching Indians from out at the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. They are our Band of the Week presented by Alabama Teachers Credit Union. We're going to show you those folks out on the Creek Bank from last Friday night. Gina Nix does an outstanding job. You know, her dad, just a fantastic band director here, a longtime band director at Saks and a band director in 2 different states. We see him on the Creek Bank there at Reagan Clark Stadium against Weaver last week. Rock Revolution is the theme of their show this year. They have 62 members. Gina is in her 4th year as the band director at Ohatchee. Tomorrow, they're going to be in the big Mid-South Marching Festival at Titan Stadium in Gadsden. A little bit later on in the year, they're going to be in a big marching festival up at Quarterly Stadium at Boaz. They call that the Ship. They'll be up there. Congratulations to our Alabama Teachers Credit Union Band of the Week, the Ohatchee High School Indians.
They're loud.
They're loud, and and they're good. They do such a great job.
She does a great job with him. I've heard them like 2 or 3 times already this year. And plus the fact she has to put up with her husband who coaches at Pleasant Valley. So, you know, that is one heck of a team. Head coach at Pleasant Valley, and she's the band director at Ohatchee. They probably never see each other. So hats off to both of them for making that work. I was talking to her last week, and I imagine their Friday nights are kind of like our Friday nights. Yes. Long, long days. Congratulations to Ohatchee. Farmers and Merchants Bank, earlier we gave you the nominees this week to vote for in our Spirit Scholarship, folks from Spring Garden and from Piedmont. They have given out over $28,000 in scholarships to local high school students in just the last 6 years. Much of that through their partnership with us on High School Football Alabama after the game at our Spirit Scholarship. They now have 5 locations there in Piedmont, Jacksonville, Anniston, Oxford, and in Center. Not only do they give scholarships away, but $10 of every school Spirit card. They have one for every school in Calhoun and Cherokee counties. Every $10 of every Spirit card purchase goes back to the schools, and they have given over $5,000 back to schools from Spirit card sales. Farmers and Merchants Bank bringing you our Player of the Week. We'll meet him a little bit later on, and our Spirit Scholarship as well. Time for our next extra point. We're catching up on that. At the midway point of the season, the Wadley Bulldogs are the highest scoring team in the state, regardless of classification. Through the first 5 games, Wadley has scored 277 points, averaging 55.4 points per contest. The Bulldogs have scored over 60 points 3 times. Their lowest point total was 34. They did not play tonight, did not play this week, had the game with Glenwood canceled. They'll be back in action, and I'm sure they'll be rolling up big points now there, will Shannon Motley and the Wadley Bulldogs. As our extra point presented by State Representative of District 36, Randy Wood. We got more highlights on the way as after the game rolls on a Football Friday night.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Your neighborhood neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
From the beginning, RMC Health System has been a great sponsor of high school football Alabama's After the Game. If you're looking for primary care, you've got the right care, and it's right here in East Alabama, in Anniston, in Jacksonville, in Oxford, in Roanoke. Learn more at rmccares.org/family-medicine. RMC bringing you high school football Alabama's After the Game. Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short. Chad Barnett has the night off tonight. And Coach, another game that I was at tonight was at the Piedmont game. Then we came down Highway 21 to Jacksonville. Believe it or not, and I've heard some things about this. It just happened this way. It wasn't planned this way. This was my first ever visit inside the new, relatively new, Golden Eagle Stadium. I had not been in there since they put the turf and the track in. I didn't make it to a game last year at Golden Eagle Stadium. So I had not, it's kind of like walking into a new place tonight. As they had a big game. The number 9 team in the state in Class 5A, Corner Yellow Jackets in from Jefferson County. And it was a good football team at Corner, but Jacksonville had control of this game. When we got there, it was 21-7, but Corner winds up winning 35-28.
They still got some growing pains that Jacksonville's going through with the young football players, moving up into 5A and playing a team that's used to being in 5A, and that's a big difference. You know, the average person don't realize what it's like going from 4A to 5A. So that means they're one of the smaller 5A schools out there. And it's got to be tough on them, but I got to ask you this question since you were there. Does Corner have a tent?
Corner did not have a tent that I saw.
There's no tents?
Yeah,
okay,
no tent. They needed one tonight. B.B. Comer had a tent. Piedmont doesn't have a tent.
That's right.
But they did have a tent at B.B. Comer. So I guess the teams that don't have the tents came out winners tonight. Let's take you now. We got Jack State highlights as we're going to take you now to Golden Eagle Stadium in Jacksonville for the highlights of Corner in Jacksonville. You see, it's another thing I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen the big Golden Eagle statue there.
Oh, yeah.
You see, we didn't have any rain while we were there. Right after we left, the bottom fell out. And we see right before halftime, everybody kind of thought Corner was going to run the clock out. They didn't. 4th and 1 at the Jacksonville 21. Keaton Coffey with a 21-yard touchdown run. That closed it to 21-14. Zay English, again, this is a thing where Corner thought they were going to run the clock out. Zay English gets about 10 or 15 yards. They had 3 deep safeties here, and then Corner gets, Jacksonville gets another big run here to end the half. Those are kind of garbage yardage there as you see Clint Smith beginning the second half, the head coach of the Golden Eagles. And then here comes Corner again. Spencer Unruh with a 19-yard run. And then Jacksonville has the ball back. 4th and 2. This was a turning point. 4th and 2 at the corner 41. Zay English is stopped for only a 1-yard gain. They turn the ball over on downs. Jacksonville gets a big sack after that, but then Colin Dunn right here with a 14-yard pass from Keaton Coffey. That gets them the first down, brings them out of the hole. And then look how wide open this guy is here. Rhett Kofer, a 49-yard touchdown pass from Coffey. That tied it 21-21. At that point in time, Coach, all the momentum was on Jacksonville's side, and Jacksonville led it 21-7. Corner brought it all the way back, and they win the game 35-28 at Golden Eagle Stadium. Let me say this about Jacksonville, though, Coach. The last 4 weeks, the combined record of the 4 teams they have played is now 17-3. 3 of the 4 teams, including Corner, ranked in the top 10 in the state in Class 5A. So Jacksonville, a young team, and they played a ridiculously tough schedule. Moody, Leeds, Center Point, and now Corner, who now, as you saw in the graphic there, is now 5-0.
And that's kind of like when we was talking to Coach Freeney tonight. If you got younger guys that, yeah, they may have been on the team, but they haven't had to go out there and perform and get it done, get the job done on the field. I still think Jacksonville's one of those teams that's going to find their way into the playoffs somehow. It may be 4th, but somehow, because that region got turned upside down tonight.
As far as Coach Freeney from Sachs, Coach Finley from Ohatchee, we're talking about the backs to the wall. They both talked about that tonight. You're going down the home stretch. It's the second half of the season coming, and that's the same way for Jacksonville now. There's no tomorrow. They played a lot of tough teams, but now they got to win some region games.
Well, they do, and they've been there before. They know what it's like. Their coaching staff will do what it takes this week to get better and better and better, and that's all they're looking for. They're just looking to know that each week our team has gotten better each week. And that's all, again, that's all you can ask for, and they're scoring points. I mean, they're scoring points. I think sometimes it's harder to play defense with younger kids than it is to play offense. Everybody wants to play offense. In this day, I heard on the way in, you're talking about nobody plays defense anymore.
80-58 tonight. One game we had between Ezekiel and JCA, and that was not the only high-scoring game. Coach, let's go right now to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown, and we're going to look at Class 5A, the 2 5A regions that we have here in East Alabama, one involving southern teams, one involving northern teams. Of course, this was a non-region week. No region games at all being played in the state of Alabama. All non-region games. Central of Clay County, 6-0 now. We talked about there would be a lot of hype about their visit to Scottsboro tonight. They won the game 35-21 was the final score. Tommy Wood, our friend, was telling me earlier, he sent me a message that said one of the team buses broke down in Fort Payne, and so they had to put a lot of those players on a student section bus, fan bus that was going, just to get them to the game. So, Coach, this is where, as we bring it back here to the set, this is where I'm going to draw upon your expertise as a coach through your years of coaching. When something like that happens, and you got a big road game, a top 10 matchup, you're going 3 hours away to play a number 7 team in the state who's undefeated, and you get about 25, 30 miles away from the stadium and your bus breaks down, what does that do to everything that you've got planned for the night?
Well, fortunately, you got Coach Horn, who's been there and done that before, along with his staff. That happened to me twice. One year, we was just going to Sachs, and our equipment truck broke down here on Quintard, right here in front of the Quintard 500, and it broke down just right up the street there. And we got to Sachs at 6:20 and play at 7, and it took us pretty much the whole night to trying to catch up. We got a bus that breaks down one time on the way to North Jackson that broke down in Piedmont. So we have to haul people over and change buses. Get a charter bus breaks down on the way to Boaz one night, and that was a nightmare. It throws you behind. If you've got an older team, you got a lot of seniors on your football team or kids that have played before, it's a lot easier that way because they know what time we get there, we got to get the job done. But it does throw everything out of kilter as far as, in Coach Horns that way. We're all creatures of habit. We want to be out there at 6:05, 6:10, 6:15, and I'm sure that was kind of thrown off kilter. And hopefully, if it was a bus where his younger kids were on there, and he didn't have to have his older ones. Because if he did, that would have been a nightmare. If your older kids are stuck and you don't get there till late, because that was a long ride, and they were behind for a while.
A lot of hype about this game, but Central Clay County wins it on the road. Hats off to them, 35-21 over the Wildcats. So let's look at the next 5A region. We were talking about Jacksonville, and then we go to 5A Region 6, which is the region that has the Jacksonville Golden Eagles in it, and it's top heavy. I mean, there's a lot of great teams in this region, great programs in this region. You see Center Point. They're 3-0 in region play. Leeds is undefeated in region play. Moody is undefeated in region play. Then you got Springville. Look at St. Clair County tonight. They beat Shelby County on the road, who was undefeated. Jacksonville, I agree with you, Coach, got a good team. Got Lincoln. They lost tonight down at Northside in Tuscaloosa County, 33-0. But Jacksonville's already played Center Point and Leeds and Moody. So now they've got Springville, St. Clair County, Lincoln. Coach, basically, they got to win them all to get in the playoffs.
No way, they can. They can win all of those games. I'm just in shock over the Leeds. Was that score correct? I heard tonight, Leeds and Briarwood Christian.
Did Briarwood beat Leeds? I'm assuming.
Oh yes.
Okay.
And I heard.
Well, I had not heard that one by the time we got on the set here.
Yes.
But, Briarwood's one of those programs, Coach,
They've been there. They've been there.
You just can't take anything for granted. That's a huge. But, again, these are all non-region games tonight.
That's
so
right. As
far as deciding who goes to the playoffs, unless it comes down to a tiebreaker, that is the way that goes.
And the region, real quickly, that we're just looking at with Central Clay. That path that they have in the South, to me, gets more cloudy each week because there's going to be. I was really wanting to see that Saraland Montgomery Catholic game.
Yep.
I wanted to see that game just to judge really how far they are in 5A. I mean, there's going to be some interesting games in the South that Central Clay is going to have to go through.
You got Viger, you got Viger, you got Eufaula down there, you got Montgomery Catholic,
yes.
Andalusia.
Yes.
There's some tough paths down there for all that. Never can totally rule out UMS Wright and all those folks.
No, you never know.
So that's Class 5A Region 6 in our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. Speaking of Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden, let me just tell you, it's tailgate season. And we're talking about a true tailgate because you can get one of those hot new Blazers, Equinox, Silverados, 1.9% financing. And when you go by Team 1 Chevrolet on East Meagan Boulevard in East Gadsden, you can register for their Ultimate Iron Bowl tailgate package. It's got everything in it. Save big, be a winner at Team 1 Chevy in Gadsden, home of the best people and the best service, period. More highlights and a lot more still to come as we roll on a football Friday night on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anderson Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Jim, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
You saw earlier the fine folks from Ted's, as always, accompanying us at the pep rally presentation. Did have a pep rally today, a team meeting presentation for our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. And let's just tell you about Ted's. They are a local business. And let me tell you, I can tell you from experience, Coach can as well. Coach, jump in here. They prioritize customer satisfaction. Their in-home consultation service, that's where the rubber meets the road, because they come in and do it free for you, and they do a great job of telling you what to expect, giving you the exact measurements, everything you need to know before anything ever happens, right?
I had no idea what I was doing, and when they come to my house and I said, we need to do this, this, and this, he said, no, I think we need to do that, that, and that. And I said, okay, let's do it. And they did it. And they did it at a good price.
Absolutely. Ted's Floors and Beyond, bringing you our Team of the Week. And we'll have that Team of the Week announcement for this week coming up a little bit later on toward the end of the show. Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short back with you on After the Game. Coach, one of the oldest rivalries, and I think one of the best rivalries in high school football in all of East Alabama. It's a streaky rivalry. It's kind of like Tennessee and Alabama was for a lot of years, where you had a team would win 9 or 10, then the other team wins 9 or 10, then the other team wins 16. Something like that.
I hope it stays that way.
It's kind of been that way with Glencoe and Hoax Bluff.
Oh, I can only imagine what kind of week that both of those coaches had. And I know Coach Rob. I mean, last week he's already worried about it. He didn't even go home after the Anniston game. He's already talking about got Glencoe. I can only imagine what it's like for those two communities. I mean, sitting there side by side, and how they probably don't like each other.
And you know, for so many years, his brother Charlie was the offense coordinator over there. So,
yeah.
I mean, that just added a little bit more to it.
So much for Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the holidays. They probably never got together, those two.
Yeah, you know, and that's true, that whole rivalry. So close together, right next to each other. There's a lot of folks related to each other that have played in this rivalry through the years.
To me, it's kind of like when you think about the Civil War. You had a lot of people that fought each other that were in the same family, and they fought each other like that. The same thing for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have played at both places. Those are very tough places to go play. I don't care if you're right beside them or not.
Well, we're going to take you out there tonight. We've got highlights coming up of the Glencoe Hoax Bluff game. Wilson Darnell Field in Glencoe tonight as we take you out there for our highlights. And Hoax Bluff is up 14-0 beginning the third quarter. Hoax Bluff on offense, Blaine Barron goes for the first down. Then it's Barron again with the ball. This time he finds the end zone, taking it to the house. And on our team sports highlights, it's 21-0 Hoax Bluff. Here is the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, going for it on 4th and 5. And they are stopped by an entire host of Hokes Bluff Eagles. They turn the ball over on downs. And then, Coach, on the very next play, guess who? Number 5, Bryce Whitaker. He takes it to the house, all the way to the end zone. Get out of the way. We're trying to get some highlights. He takes it all the way to the highlights, down the Hokes Bluff sidelines. 28-0 Hokes Bluff. Look at that student section at Hokes Bluff. They're excited over at Wilson Darnell Field at Hokes Bluff tonight. Coach Rob didn't have much to be worried about. Number 9, Hokes Bluff beats Glencoe tonight, 35-0. And there's that streak, Coach. Hokes Bluff's now won 9 straight in the rivalry.
And those are big games for them. I mean, he did. I mean, you don't have to work that week. I bet he hadn't had to say anything all week long to his kids about getting excited about playing this game.
Absolutely. Hokes Bluff rolls on, just a couple of weeks away now. Possibly, there's still some football to be played. You know, Hokes Bluff's got Alexandria in Death Valley next week, and you've got Anniston coming in to take on Cherokee County. But if those two win those games, and those are big ifs, it's never easy to beat Alexandria or Anniston. But if they can get past those in a couple of weeks right there at Mike Robertson Stadium, Hokes Bluff and Cherokee County, and more than likely at that point in time, if, we got a lot of ifs out there, if they win next week, that's probably going to be for the region title.
Oh, I can understand. And they'll probably sell a lot of food before it gets there. Just nobody eat, everybody go there to eat your supper. But that can be, like I said, don't like looking ahead, but that could be a monumental game.
Absolutely. You may be making a return trip over to Hokes Bluff, Coach.
Well, I mean, I know how to get there, and I know how to eat there, too. I promise you. Jordan will love to go there and eat.
Speaking of eating, it is time for our Johnson's Giant Food Concession Stand of the Week. This week, we're going to take you out to a place that, Coach, this is the most maybe highly refined concession stand in all of East Alabama. The Walter Welborn High School Highlander Band concession stand. This is on the visitor side on the hill at Walter Welborn. Let's take you out and see what we got for you in our Johnson's Giant Food Concession Stand of the Week on the hill at Walter Welborn. Okay, we're on the visitor side at the hill at Walter Welborn. The Walter Welborn Highlander Band, their concession stand, the Booster Club runs this, and it is a very unique concession offering here at Walter Welborn. We have Rebecca McCollum, she's the secretary of the Band Booster Club. This is not your typical things that we see at a concession stand. Tell us what you got here.
Okay, tonight we have Philly-style egg rolls with onions, green peppers, all the cheeses and whatnot. We have taco egg rolls, and we have crab rangoon. We do a Hobbs special every week. We offer a new, different, unusual concession stand food every week, and this just happens to be what we have this week.
Definitely different. You were telling me that you cook most of this and come up with the ideas for this because cooking is a passion of yours, right?
It is. I grew up with grandmothers that loved to cook, and I just kind of followed suit, I guess, and so it's like a love language for me. I love these kids, and that's why I do it. So.
All right, the Band Booster Club here at Welborn, as all of our concession stands of the week, they're going to receive a $100 gift certificate from Johnson's Giant Food, help you out with some of the supplies here. What does the money that you raise here during football season, what's that go toward?
Most of it goes towards like equipment maintenance, instrument maintenance. Right now we're trying to get some work done on our equipment truck, and uniforms. We just got new uniforms for the kids, so we're just trying to keep things building up and making them better for them. So
awesome. All right, you got a great crew here, a huge crew. How about a big Go Panthers, everybody? Go Panthers! That's the loudest group we've had this year. All right, Don Wilson's about to come in and taste in just a moment. Okay, now we've got a sampling again here at Welborn. We've got this first item right here, Don, is going to be the Philly cheesesteak egg roll. Then we've got a taco egg roll and a crab rangoon. All right, so I think we're going to start here with the Philly. Dig in. Looks good, doesn't it, Don?
It does on this Friday the 13th, John. Stormy Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I have to say that looks pretty good. Got a lot of cheese, onions in there. Tell us about the Philly cheesesteak.
Your eyes didn't deceive you. It's very good.
All right, now we're going to move on to the taco here. You're going to get a little taste of everything here. Philly cheesesteak, now taco. taking the big bite here. I like Don, he does it slowly. So the taco has what in it?
It has taco meat, cheddar cheese, jalapenos, onions, and rotel.
All right. Now, we've got the crab rangoon here. This is all a first on High School Football Alabama after the game. We've never had these items before, so now the crab rangoon. We'll let you catch your breath here for a minute here.
Coach Short, wish you were here.
Coach Short is not, he's missing out on this tonight. All right, crab rangoon. Good stuff, huh? Great selection of stuff. What do you think overall about all three of these items?
Excellent. Very good.
Great stuff here. Walter Welborn Highlander Band Booster Concession Stand on the visitor side. When you come into the hill at Walter Welborn, it's on the visitor sideline. They change out. They have different things. But this week it was the egg rolls and the crab rangoon. Good stuff here tonight on the hill at Welborn. The Philly cheese, that's the taco, and that is the crab rangoon. I'm just telling you, when you talk about refined concession stand, rangoon, taco egg rolls, Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, and those folks are working hard out there. So if you go up on the hill, as soon as you come in the stadium right there on the visitor side, there they are frying those egg rolls. There's really great stuff out there. They get a $100 gift card courtesy of Johnson's Giant Food. 5 locations to serve you here in East Alabama, out in Coldwater in their area, also in Jacksonville, downtown Gadsden, Etowah, and also in East Gadsden. Coach, you missed out on that one out there a couple of weeks ago. You missed out on the crab rangoon and the taco and Philly cheesesteak egg rolls.
Don will let me know too. He's always let me know when I missed. But you know what? We're very fortunate of the amount of food, or not the amount, but the kind of food
quality.
we have around, the quality. Everywhere we go, they've all got great food. It's going to be hard to pick who the best one is at the end of the year.
And you saw the equipment. They had deep fryers and all this. These are like restaurants here. We had an article that Katie Edwards did in our High School Football Alabama, the magazine, about how these concession stands are they're like restaurants now.
Yes.
And we're seeing evidence of that out there at Walter Welborn. Go out and support the Highlander Band. Here's the great thing about it. These are all volunteer workers, and all these concession stands, they're doing it for the kids. They're doing it for the young people, and all the money goes directly to either the football team, the athletics, or it goes to the band. You know how important that is, Coach. All that money that they raise, they do a lot of good things with that.
And it's all spent. You know, people don't realize how much it costs for these bands to go anywhere they go. I mean, they have to go just like the football team does. And then on top of that, they have all these competitions they go to that even cost them. The buses are not cheap. There's some teams around here that probably spend $5,000 to $10,000 just to get somewhere, especially your upper level or your larger schools that have 300 and 400 people in their band. I can only imagine how much it costs. So go out wherever you're at and support those local bands, and they're in the concession stands.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at our next region. We're going to jump back to Class 3A, Class 3A Region 4, in our Team 1 Chevrolet Gadsden Region Rundown. Glenwood and Wadley in Class 1A, they did not play. That was going to be an interesting game to me. But with Randolph County's win over Lee Scott, Coach, it sure looks like that we are on a collision course between Glenwood and Randolph County. Both teams undefeated in the region, both teams undefeated overall. Unless Lee Scott can step in there and upset someone, looks like that might be your region title game between Randolph County and Glenwood.
It does, and Randolph County is scoring about 35 points a game, and they're only giving up about 9 points per game, so something's got to give when those two play each other. That
was an impressive win tonight. They went over to Ranburne, and they beat Ranburne 41-0 tonight over at Ranburne, did Randolph County. An impressive win. That's our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Region Rundown for Class 3A Region 4. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that?
Right here at RMC.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Wow, these guys are everywhere. I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
You saw earlier our Awards to Remember Tough Guy trophy that we presented to the Oxford Yellow Jackets today, part of our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Also, a plaque that they provide each and every week for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. We've got that to show you a little bit later on as well. Awards to Remember. They provide all of our awards here for high school football, Alabama, after the game. Go to awardstoremember.com. Visit their showroom, 4017 Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. Give them a call, 892-2500. These are not new kids on the block at all. They are 40-plus years in business here in East Alabama, providing great awards and mementos for high school and youth league teams and businesses and all of that. See Robert Smith and all the fine folks at Awards to Remember in Ohatchee. Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short back with us on this Football Friday night. We mentioned rival games, Coach, and they don't get much bigger than Southside and Etowah. Another big Etowah County rivalry tonight at Barney Hood Stadium at Southside.
You know, they're not far apart either. You know, we've already, think how many rivalry games you have just across the river. Yeah. And you know, you had Glencoe and Hoax Bluff, and then you got Etowah and Southside. I mean, that's two big games within that city.
Huge.
And you know, then we had one over there at the other place too. So there was a lot of football played in Etowah County tonight. Big games tonight.
Southside had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. Had the open date last week to get ready for Etowah, and it was a barn burner tonight. Probably one of the best Southside Etowah games that's been played in this long series. So let's take you out to Barney Hood Stadium in Southside tonight for some highlights of this game, as we're going to see the team captains meeting there. See the flag in the background. This is number 2. You're going to see a lot of him. Jamison Sissom, the quarterback, with Zayden Knight. They connect for a first down. Then you're going to see a lot of this guy. He's got some legs too. Sissom calls his own number and runs a long way, about 25 yards, gets the first down for the Etowah Blue Devils. Then it's Sissom back to the air, and another pass, another long pass for another Etowah first down. That gets them down close in Southside territory. The next play, Sissom finds Cash Hayes for the touchdown, and the Blue Devils are on the board, and they take the lead 7-0 on the road at Barney Hood Stadium. Now we go to Southside. They get the ball in the offense, and this is a great running back, underrated running back. Number 1, Cole Garrett gets the first down. Then on the next play, their quarterback, Ethan Surratt, calls his own number, and he is going to take off and gets a first down run, a big first down run for Southside. And then 5 plays later, it is Surratt. He's going to connect with Joshua Peoples here for the Panther touchdown, wide open, takes into the end zone, extra points good. 7-7, Southside and Etowah at this point in time. And you see the pride of Southside band celebrating, and Southside goes on to win, but it wasn't easy. The 4th meeting of the Panthers and the Blue Devils, and Coach Southside gets the win tonight. That's a big win for Coach Ben Stewart and his team. If you're at Southside or at Etowah, regardless of what kind of season you're having, Coach, you know this. There's certain games you have to win, and this is a game that if you're the coach at Southside, you need to win, is against Etowah.
Oh, yeah, and people don't realize sometimes if one team gets up on the other one, maybe winning 1 or 2 in a row, people tend to move in those directions to play for those teams, and that happens. I got to ask this question. I know they had a little one, but it looks like they got a new Jumbotron.
At one time, they had, and this is since we were there earlier this year at a game against Gunnersville. This, I think, is since then. I didn't notice it then. They had a screen that used to sit on top of the concession stand as you came in, just like a video screen. When I mean a screen, I mean like a movie projecting type screen. Pretty good, awesome. But what we saw tonight there at Southside, that's first class. That was all planned within the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they got it done. So shout out to their athletic department or whoever raises their money for Southside and was able to get it done here during the middle of the season. Another Jumbotron. One of the best atmospheres, maybe the best atmosphere in my opinion, in high school football around this part of the state is at Southside. Yeah, no doubt. The band is into it, the student section's into it. Regardless of what their record is, it's always packed. The fans are into it. That home side at Southside, which is large, not easy to fill, is always packed. Great community support at Southside. Oh, when we went to the Hoax Bluff game, it was completely packed and very loud, and then the band's loud on top of that. Let's take a look. Southside, this is a non-region game tonight, but they compete in Class 6A, moving up from 5A, where they won a region title last year. They're in 6A now. So let's take a look at our 2 6A regions as we go back to our Team 1 Chevrolet Gadsden region rundown. Here it is, Coach. Clay Chalkville tonight, the defending 6A state champion. They go in and they beat Thompson 14-13 in overtime. Oxford, very impressive win. People were thinking, well, maybe Oxford's going to have a letdown, having to go back to Birmingham after that big win against Mountain Brook. 35-10 against a very good Helena team. Mountain Brook is still sitting there, Coach. Let me tell you about Mountain Brook tonight. They beat Homewood. They bounced back very nicely and beat Homewood, another top 10 team in 6A. But it's boiling down a couple weeks away. I think Oxford's got Pell City next week. Then after that, it will be Oxford and Clay Chalkville. And it looks like right now, that's going to be your Class 6A Region 6 title game. Mountain Brook and Clay Chalkville still have to play, so it's not a done deal, even if Clay Chalkville wins that game. But that Oxford-Clay Chalkville game, Coach, that's going to be one of the biggest games in the state this year in any classification in the regular season. Oh, no doubt. I mean, if they all just keep doing the things they're supposed to do and they all keep competing like they are, that Oxford-Clay Chalkville game is going to be one monstrous game, and it's going to be right down the road. Absolutely, at Lamar Field. Let's jump over to Class 6A Region 8 now. And Gadsden City won tonight. That was an impressive win. It's a good Bob Jones program in 7A. Gadsden City was down 20-7, Coach. And then they scored 33 unanswered points, and they win the game 40-27 over Bob Jones tonight. So a big win for Gadsden City. But, you know, Southside is making some noise. Southside they beat Lee of Huntsville. Southside again wins tonight over Etowah. They are building momentum. That football team is getting better. But right now, for all intents and purposes, it looks like Gadsden City may be the class of this region again. Well, if they come back from what they did, how far they were down, what was the score? 20-7. 20-7. That shows the growth in that program. There was times where Gadsden City couldn't make that kind of comeback. So their program has grown tremendously since coaches took over and doing that. I mean, it's been a couple years, but to be able to do that was a great win for them to come from behind Ollie Smith at Gadsden City, they have a lot of weapons. Coach saw them against Muscle Shoals, a game they won. That's a big win because Muscle Shoals is really good. Top 10 team, maybe a region champion type team. Gadsden City beat them, and they've got a lot of weapons. They got a good quarterback. They've got an outstanding, obviously, tailback, good wide receivers, guys that can make big plays, possession receivers as well. They've got a lot of weapons and a big offensive line as well. Gadsden City winning tonight, non-region play. Southside winning tonight in non-region play in Class 6A Region 8. Time for our next extra point of the night, presented by State Representative Randy Wood out of District 36. Coach, did you know that only 10 quarterbacks in AHSAA history have thrown over 100 touchdown passes in their career, and 3 are from East Alabama? And I was privileged to watch all 3 of these guys play. Piedmont's Jack Hayes, the all-time leader with 158. Jacksonville's Jim Ogle, who just graduated last year, 7th with 107. Right behind him, Westbrook Christian's Brody Kroll, who runs the place now, is 8th with 105. And in addition, current Sylacauga head coach Chris Finley is 2nd all-time in state history with 134 from his playing days at American Christian in Tuscaloosa. More highlights and a lot more as we roll on this Football Friday night.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that?
Right here at RMC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
USA Softball of Alabama bringing you our scoreboard on Friday nights, and it's been a busy scoreboard tonight with a lot of games late in coming in, so we've been bringing you a lot of updated scores throughout the night. Next weekend, October 5th and 6th in Birmingham, join USA Softball of Alabama for Maggie's Rules for Life tournament supporting Maggie's Kindness Foundation. This tournament has raised over $95,000 for Children's of Alabama pediatric intensive care units. So got those girls softball teams out there. Get them in that tournament next weekend in Birmingham. If you want to find out more about USA Softball, go to their website, usasoftballofalabama.com. It is time for our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Oh, wow. This had so many storylines to this game. First and foremost, you had the Class 1A runner-up from last year. They were at the Super 7, Coosa Christian, moving up to 2A this year because of competitive ballots. You had Fife, the defending 2A state champion last year. They were at the Super 7 in Tuscaloosa, moving up to Class 3A this year because of enrollment. Both teams loaded again this year. Fife had lost a game, but that was to the #1 team in the state in 2A, Pisgah, their big rival. But they were obviously ranked #3 in the state in Class 3A. Then you had Coosa Christian. They had lost one game, but that was to the 2A champions in Georgia on the road, Pierce County, and they had won every game besides that, and they were ranked #5 in the state in Class 2A. Coach, we're about to take it out there to Coosa Christian, but just on the face of this, a lot of star power too, big-name coaches, big-name players. A lot of talent on the field. Yeah. A lot of people think about 2A and 3A football, but you got players committed to Clemson. You got players that are going to be committed to some other big schools before it's said and done from Coosa Christian. This was an interesting game. All over the state, people were looking at this game. I'm interested, hadn't had a chance to talk with you, so I'll talk with you right now. What was the crowd like for this game?
Oh, when we got there, and remember, once we got there, it was decent weather. Nobody thought it was going to come a rain like it did, but it was crowded. Both stands are completely full, and those 5 people were lined up all the way around the sides. You know, I mean, there was no room except for the far end zone, where I don't even know if you can get to the far end zone on that outside, but it was completely full. Great atmosphere. It was as close to a playoff game atmosphere as you could get because there was a lot on the line because of going forward. You know that Coosa was sitting there thinking, we need to. They're looking at that game in the playoffs. I know they are. They'll say they're not, but they're looking at that Pisgah game, and that's why they were wanting to score. But look, I know how it ended up, what it looked like, but that was a close ball game. A very, very physical game. One of the most physical games that I've seen this year, any classification.
All right, we've got all the action coming up. We're going to take you out to Philip Ellen Stadium in Gadsden. Coosa Christian hosting the Fife Red Devils. Jordan Smith and Coach Michael Short with all the action from Coosa Christian in our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week.
Jordan Smith, Coach Michael Short with you here at Coosa Christian for the Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Agent Game of the Week, where Coosa Christian came out on top over the Fife Red Devils by a score of 29-2, and it was a wet, as you can see by the jackets, it was a wet first half, and we were kind of dreading coming into the second half, but man, did the Coosa Christian Conquerors just light up the scoreboard in the second half.
Yeah, they did, and the biggest thing about this ball game was early in the game when Fife had some opportunities in the red zone to score touchdowns, and Coosa kept them with only a safety. I think that was the turning point of the ball game, and that just kind of led into the great defensive effort that Coosa put on tonight.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers in the first half because of the rain. It came down pretty heavy, and then, as it kind of lifted in the second half, that's when you started seeing the Coosa offense really happen. And one thing to note, Fife has scored 325 consecutive games, and that dates back to 2009. Tonight, they don't put a touchdown on the board.
Well, that just goes to show you the great effort that the coaching staff from Coosa and the players that went out and executed that plan tonight. I mean, it was kind of exciting to see that kind of game plan come together, and then they go out and do what they need to do.
Yeah, Fife played well defensively up until the fourth quarter. We were 14-2 through the half and then through the third quarter. So, I mean, the game really opened up in the fourth.
It did, and you had Fife. It had a long drive but didn't get any points out of it, and that kind of took the air out of it when they didn't score. And then Coosa did a good job offensively up front by being able to keep the ball away from them there at the end. But I think the whole ball game had a lot to do with Coosa won the battle in the trenches on both sides of the ball pretty much the whole ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, let's head over to the highlights.
Number 5, Coosa Christian in Class 2A hosts the number 3 team in Class 3A, the Fife Red Devils, in a game for the ages. First drive for Coosa, they would have to punt. Jorge Roman tries to field the low snap. The ball bounces off of him. He picks it up, and it would be blocked by the Red Devils and picked up by Hunter Latham for the Fife Red Devils. Now threatening, quarterback Blake Dobbins hands the ball off to Ryder Gibson, but he would be stopped for no gain. Now fourth down, Coosa Christian gets a stop here as Logan Anderson takes the handoff for the Red Devils. Coosa would be forced to punt on their next drive. This time, the snap is going to go over the punter's head, and he's going to be forced to kick it out of bounds for the safety. Fife goes up 2-0. Next drive for the Red Devils, Logan Anderson with a hard run up the middle for a first down. Next play, Anderson with the ball again. He's going to take it back up the middle again, makes one guy miss, and picks up another first down. Next play for Fife, Latham drops back. He's going to go to the air. He's going to throw it deep, and this time be intercepted by Coosa's Dylan Edwards, who's going to take it inside the 30-yard line for Coosa Christian. Coosa Christian would be stopped again by the Red Devils, and Fife would get the football back. Here, Latham hands off to Anderson. He's going to go run down the sideline and pick up another Red Devil first down. Next play, Fife looking to get set. The ball would actually be snapped early. Latham tries to recover it. He's not going to be able to get a handle on it, and it's going to be picked up by Dartavius Mackey for the touchdown. Coosa goes up 7-2. Now a few drives later, quarterback John David Justice going to call his own number, get down to the sideline, and he's going to get up close to a first down. Next play, Justice looks to go to the air, and he's going to connect in midfield with Grant Morgan. He's going to punch it into the touchdown. Conquerors go up 14-2 at the half. Fife would get the football back from the first half. First drive for Fife from half. New quarterback Maddox Doss looks to go deep, and he would throw downfield. His pass would bounce off Cooper Harrison's helmet and be picked off by Grant Morgan, taking it down inside the 35-yard line for Coosa. Now in the fourth quarter, Coosa trying to make something happen, still 14-2. Quarterback John David Justice hands the ball off to Jay Allen Terry. He's going to head down toward the sideline, bounce off one man. He's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Coosa on top of Fife, 29-22.
We're here with Coach Mark O'Brien of the Coosa Christian Conquerors and some players here after a big win against the Fife Red Devils. Coach, obviously weather was a factor in the first half, but in the second half when the rain let up, you guys lit the scoreboard up.
Yeah, I was really proud of the adjustments we made in the halftime. I thought it really helped. And the kids just played really hard, and I was really, really proud of them. They're the ones that makes it go. It's not us, it's these guys.
Coach, as the game started tonight, I thought one of the big factors in the ball game was some of the early miscues you had in the kicking game, but you kept them out of the end zone, and I thought that was very large with it raining as much as it did. And, guy, you got to be proud of your defense tonight, the way they played the whole ball game.
And that's a great question, Coach. And I'm super proud of the coaches on the defense, and I'm super proud of the players on defense. They played their guts out, and I felt like we did a really good job, probably as good as anybody's done in a while against Fife, defending their offense.
Well, one thing you had to be proud for Teddy. Coach Whitmire, being a Fife guy, and you know that's special for him. You know, I'm sure the players understood that coming in. And it's kind of a statement game for maybe on down the road, because I know it's next week you're getting ready for the next game, but you're worried about Coosa and getting healthy.
That's, Coach, you've been doing this a long time. You know the drill. So, yeah, and I'm super proud of Teddy, though. I mean, I don't even have words to describe how proud I am for Teddy. Matter of fact, that's the first game ball I've ever given out in all my coaching. I gave it to him. I wanted him to have it.
Well, he absolutely earned it, because that was a good football team that you played tonight. Coach, give us an idea and tell us who these guys you got with us tonight.
3 super special kids. This one right here is a junior, Jay Allen Terry. This one's a freshman, Kylan Johnson. This one's a junior, Grayson Malone.
Guys, talk a little bit about the game coming in. You know, there's a lot of hype. Fife is a predominantly good football team, and for you guys to get a win here, that's pretty big, especially going into the rest of the season. Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, it was a lot of hype, but we just got to know what the coaches told us. It's a faceless opponent.
Came into it with a lot of adversity, you know. Everybody doubted us, Bama Preps and all the internet. We came out and showed, like, we played. It's a faceless opponent, like you said.
We just prepared well, and I think we came out and executed like we should have.
Coach, one other question for you tonight. I know you also, I love those last drives you had there to kind of take the air out of it, but your kicking game tonight, I actually was as an old coach, I was proud of your punter and your kick. Everything was special as far as your kicking game. And a lot of people in rainy games like this don't understand how much the kicking game involves.
And Coach, you've done it a long time, and it's very difficult in this mess. And so I was really proud of, other than the bad snap and the safety, which really hurt us, I was really proud how we rebounded and we finally settled in and became who we are.
Coosa Christian on top of 5, 29-2 here at home for Coosa Christian. Now it's time to head back over to John.
Well, Coach, that was an impressive performance to say the least. You know, you and I were on the sidelines last year at the semifinal game when Coosa Christian beat Pickens County to get to the state championship game. And, you know, Pickens County's kind of been in 1A North, has kind of been the standard bearer. And that was a statement game, breakthrough game for Coosa Christian, probably obviously the biggest win in Coosa Christian history to get there. As far as a statement game goes, I think this one was maybe even bigger because very few people beat Fife. Nobody beats Fife 29-2.
Oh yeah, you know, and people around the field were talking about, well, it's been raining tonight. It rained on both sides. Both teams, you know, and Coosa was able to throw the football enough to make a difference. You know, they threw some touchdown passes, and being able to throw when it was raining like it was, I mean, it was unbelievable. Just the way the game, Fife had a chance there with some turnovers and had a blocked punt. And the biggest play of the game was them not letting them score. If Fife had scored early, you may get a little doubt, but there was no doubt at all in their players. I'm going to say this. We watched them last year. They're 17 points better than they were last year.
Coach O'Brien told me at the Etowah County Media Day, he said, John, we are significantly, I won't tell you how significantly he told me, but he said we are significantly better than we were last year. And he told me that the year before that, and he was exactly right. I don't doubt Mark O'Brien. I told him that the other day. When you tell me something, Coach, I've learned not to doubt you whatsoever, because whatever he says, they pretty much back it up. Couple of questions here for you. I got to ask this question tonight. People are asking, saying, well, you know, this is going to see tonight if Coosa Christian can win 2A. They answered that question. Coosa Christian, as a matter of fact, Coach, they might be the favorite now to win the 2A championship.
Yeah, just because if people want to compare scores, when they look at the Pisgah Fife game, which was one right there toward the end, I don't know myself if this game was ever in doubt, because I look up front. And Coosa defensively tonight played lights out. And they were changing their fronts constantly, and they were getting so much penetration in the backfield, and they tackled so well. And when, you know, Fife always beats people over the top by throwing balls. 2 or 3 throws a game, it's always a touchdown. There was nobody ever open. And they just did a great job. Coosa doesn't have, they've got more depth than most 2A schools do, and they don't have to play a lot of people both ways. They may have if they play somebody that can throw the football a lot and spot play them, but they can get out there, and how many 2A teams do you know that brings out as many people as they do out onto the field when they're warming up, and how many of them have the depth that they have? They've got a lot of depth right there, and the thing is, they got 8 seniors. And
it looks like, Coach, you and I were talking during that video, you and I were talking about they look like a high-level 4A team. Not a high-level 2A team. They look like a high-level 4A team. Coach, let's talk about Fife. We don't get to see Fife much in the regular season because they don't play a lot down this way. I think it was a foregone conclusion at the beginning of the year that Fife would win the North and maybe win 3A. Your impression on Fife, and is this still a team? I know they've lost 2 games now. Is this still a team you feel like could win 3A?
They can, because matchups. And the thing that Coosa can do is they can throw the football and spread you out, and that's not the strength of Fife. But how many people have got teams that can actually do what Coosa's doing at the skill player position? I don't know if anybody else has that, you know, can do that in 3A. There's a couple. It's going to be interesting to see. But yes, when Logan Anderson gets completely healthy, you can still see that hamstring's not completely healthy, because now he can do and make a difference on both sides of the ball. But that's not what it was tonight. But yes, they have an opportunity to go deep in playoffs because they've been there before. And they're going to look at their film tonight, and they've got to get their snaps. I mean, their quarterback tonight constantly kept picking balls up off the ground. There was bad snaps, but Coosa's quarterback, Coosa's center didn't have bad snaps tonight. So if they can get that fixed and they get everybody healthy, and same thing for Coosa. Coosa's got some players tonight that didn't play.
Big time players that didn't play. Coach, you and Jordan Smith, a great job tonight bearing the elements. Some big rain over there at Phillip Ellen Stadium in our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop. These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Noble Bank and Trust bringing you the post-game presser here on Friday nights. Had a couple of great guests in with us. Chris Finley, head coach of the Ohatchee Indians, and Alfonso Freeney, head coach of the Sacs Wildcats, live in studio with us tonight. Noble Bank, community owned. And what's that mean? Well, to me, it means that you're a person, you're a face. It's a name. When you walk in, they know who you are. You're more than just an account number. All the decisions are made locally, and they give back to the communities in a lot of different ways, maybe more than any other bank their size. They have checking, savings, loans, mortgage, line of credit, services for both personal and business. They are high-tech and high-touch. They have the same technology that all the big city banks do, but they also offer hometown customer service. Noble Bank and Trust bringing you the post-game presser here on Friday nights. Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short back with you on this football Friday night. Hope you're enjoying right there our Alabama Teachers Credit Union bottom line, keeping you up to date with all the final scores here in East Alabama and some of the big games around the state. We're coming to you tonight from the Dad's Barbecue Top of the River Media Center, located right here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. I want to thank our fine crew. We have telling you, it's the best crew in this state working high school football that we have right here. These folks behind the scenes doing a great job again tonight. Time now for our awards to remember. East Alabama Top 10. Coach Michael Short joins us. If you wonder where Chad Barnett is, he has the night off. He will be back with us next Friday night. Coach, no changes, basically. But this is good to look at the halfway point of the season to kind of see who the top teams in all classifications are. Now, again, we're not saying necessarily that we think Coosa Christian is going to beat some big 7A school or anything like that. They might, but we'll see. Number 10, our East Alabama top 10 remains the Hoax Bluff Eagles. 35-0 tonight over their arch rival on the road. Number 9, Gadsden City come from behind win tonight over a 7A school in Bob Jones. Number 8, Cherokee County beat Shades Valley by 2 touchdowns in Irondale. It's a pretty good 6A team that they went on the road and beat tonight. Number 7, Moody did not play. It was going to be interesting to see how they matched up with one of the very best teams in Auburn, who was the number 2 team in 7A. Didn't play. Number 6 is Spring Garden. Spring Garden, last year, Cedar Bluff came to Spring Garden and upset them. Tonight, Spring Garden went to LD Brucefield, and they beat Cedar Bluff, big rival. I think it's only the 7th time Spring Garden's ever beaten Cedar Bluff, 54-0
They
tonight.
upset their feelings.
They did. Number 5, Coosa Christian. Coach, we might need to think about moving them up a little bit after that win tonight. Number 4, the Piedmont Bulldogs. But where do you move them? Because these top 4 have done everything you asked. Piedmont tonight, big win over B.B. Comer on homecoming. You saw highlights of that earlier. Number 3, Oxford. Wow, 35-10 at Helena, and that was a good football team that they went on the road and beat at Helena. Oxford undefeated. Number 2, Wadley didn't play. I was hoping we were going to see that Glenwood game. Didn't get to have that. That game was canceled. Number 1 team in the state in Class 1A, by the way, is Wadley. And number 1, Central of Clay County. They had a lot of adversity tonight as the Volunteers went on the road and won at Scottsboro, if we can pull them up there at the number 1 position. Central Clay County bus broke down in Fort Payne. They're having trouble with that. But I can assure you, even though that's blank, don't get mad at me, Vol fans down in Clay County. Central of Clay County is number 1. The Vols, they're undefeated, 6-0. I'm not sure that they're going to be challenged, Coach, the rest of the way.
Not after tonight's game.
Central Clay County, I promise you, it's right here. They're number 1.
They're number 1. And they're going to stay that way.
Tell us about the top 10, beginning with Central Clay and then working our way down.
Well, you know, Central Clay is kept up their average tonight. What, 35 was it?
35.
So they're averaging about 35 points a game. They're only giving up about 8 to 9 points a game. Wadley, what, 55?
55, leading scoring team in the state regardless of classification.
And they only give up about 8 points a game. I mean, that has a lot to do with it. And if you go back and you can look it up yourself about what these teams are giving up, all of these teams that we're looking at here aren't giving up many points. To me, that's what shows why they're here and why they're going to be there the whole year is because of what they do defensively.
Defense, Oxford defense, Piedmont.
Oh, without a doubt.
Piedmont didn't allow B.B. Comer to run the ball.
Tonight,
defense,
I saw it.
Defense, for sure, defense, Moody.
This may be the most improved defensive group that we've seen.
Big defensive lineman here.
No
Hoax
doubt.
Bluff, defense.
I mean, they held Anniston to 18 points.
Yes.
So every one of these teams right here, and that one's just Central Clay County.
Central Clay County.
All of you. That's Central Clay County.
Central Clay County. Defense. We know that with Danny Horn. All right, let's take a look at Class 4A regions now as we go back to our region rundown presented by Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. Class 4A Region 3, again, non-region week. St. James, Booker T. Washington at the top of that. Hanley and Tallahassee. That's going to be a big game. And, Coach, we got some news here. You don't even know this, I don't think. I failed to tell you this during the week. The Alabama High School Athletic Association sent out their region standings, and that Tallahassee and Elmore County game that ended in a tie 14-14, they have said that game basically canceled, doesn't count, they didn't really play it. So no ties, so it goes back. The record now for Tallahassee will be 2-2 and 2-1. He's speechless. Coach is speechless for the first time ever. So they played a half of football, and I guess it was a scrimmage. It's not going to count.
Zero.
So it's a canceled game.
And you can't use it for tiebreakers.
Can't use it for tiebreakers. It's like as if the game was not
Never
played.
happened.
Never happened. All right. Class 4A Region 6 now. Let's take a look at that one. And this is, again, we talked about this earlier. Hoax Bluff, Alexandria next week. Anniston, Cherokee County. I think I'm going to be at that game up in Center. Those are tough games. This is going to be a tough game for Hoax Bluff coming into Alexandria. Tough game, Cherokee County hosting Anniston. But if those two teams can win those games, talking about Cherokee County and Hoax Bluff, Coach, what a monster game that's going to be out at Mike Robertson Stadium in a couple of weeks.
There's no doubt. I mean, that will be a game that will have a lot. Well, it'll be a region championship game.
And look for Alexandria to make a move here. I think Alexandria, they may be, Coach, one of the most improved teams in any class here in East Alabama this year. I personally think they may wind up having a winning season and being in the playoffs after going 1-9 last year.
And I also think that Alexandria, I know people are going to look at scores. They're going to look at the Alexandria Anniston score and then look at the Hoax Bluff Anniston score. I know Alexandria, and Alexandria and Hoax Bluff will be a lot closer game than what people think. Being at the Valley, and you know Hoax Bluff and Mike Robbins right now, hey guys, we got to get ready for Alexandria, got to get ready for Alexandria. And they will, and he'll do that. But I believe it'll be a lot closer than what people think just because they're looking at the compare scores of Anniston and Hoax Bluff.
Yeah, and I think that Anniston-Cherokee County game up in Center next week could be interesting as well. Anniston can cause you a lot of problems.
They
for
can.
Sure.
And Cherokee County has improved greatly. You hate to say this, but probably the best thing that happened to them this year was that first game of the year.
That loss to Piedmont on the last play of the game. All right, let's tell you about the folks from Anniston Orthopedics. They have great skilled surgeons. These are like all-star names. Vandervoort, Dwayne Tippett, Dwayne Michael Tippett, Hardy, Wiedmer, Morris. They got great trainers like Sean Seeger. All those folks taking care of you. And they have the Saturday morning 8 o'clock sports injury clinic every Saturday morning at 8 at the Tyler Center, including tomorrow morning. Anniston Orthopedics bringing you our score shirts that we present to the team of the week, and also our cheerleading squad, which tonight we had the Cleburne County High School Tigers in the house with us earlier tonight. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
I hope you've been enjoying this season. Something new, we have the Red Thread Stay Put preview box. I'm not sure how much Coach and I are enjoying that, but you can kind of get a glimpse of what's happening behind the scenes. Whole deal is we don't want you to go anywhere. Just stay put. No telling what you'll see. You'll see our coaches and our cheerleaders getting mic'd up, and you'll see all kind of things happening. You may hear me sometimes, and never can tell what you there. Well, you never can tell with the Red Threads Stay Put preview box what you're going to see. Powered by O-Brand. Go buy Red Threads. They have a great store on the square in Jacksonville. Officially licensed JSU apparel, custom apparel for your event or company. They do all of our T-shirts here, do a great job, and the best selection of quality JSU apparel that you're going to find. We are back here on High School Football Alabama after the game. Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short with you. Chad Barnett off on this Friday night. And we've got another award to give out, and that is our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. We're going to take you down to Oxford. We were there for Team of the Week earlier with Ted's Floors and Beyond, but also our F&M Bank Player of the Week from last week was from Oxford as well. And that Player of the Week, Mason Mims. We were going to show you now some of the video from down at Oxford today as we were down there for their pregame meeting. And there's Mr. Mims, the quarterback, already committed to play for the Louisville Cardinals. He gets not only that great plaque from Awards to Remember in Farmers and Merchants Bank, but this is something cool. And all the players, Coach, love this. When that they were so happy for Mason, and I could tell they were jealous. They wanted one of these. Farmers and Merchants Bank, Team Sports, and High School Football Alabama with this custom-made jersey with his name on the back of it that he'll be able to keep. Look at the guys giving him a lot of adulation there. And there's our picture with Mason Mims when he's playing in the NFL, Coach, one day after he goes to Louisville and sets things on fire. I'll have proof here that I actually met him one time, and he was actually our Player of the Week, our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. A great leader. One thing I could tell you about Mason Mims, being in that room today with the Oxford football team, a lot of respect for that guy. Quarterback has to be the leader, as you know, and he's a great leader. You don't get to be 6-0 playing 6A football in this state without a great leader at quarterback.
Well, you could see that with the kids that were genuinely happy that he was the Player of the Week, because he demands command of that huddle, and he demands command of that team. I'm sure there's one on defense that does the same thing, but you've got to have those kind of guys if you're going to be successful, especially at the 6A level. Well,
let's jump from 6A down to 1A as we take a look now at our 1A regions in our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. And Coach, I want to say this because I'm a small school guy. It means just as much to these folks as it means to the 6A guys.
That's right.
Wadley didn't play, #1 team in the state. Winterboro, look at Winterboro very quietly here, Coach. We thought in the regular season, back in the summer, that Winterboro was going to be very good. They started off a little slow, but now they've turned it on, came in and beat Weaver tonight 27-13. So all of a sudden, they're 4-1. Victory Christian went on the road and won at Francis Marion tonight. So it's not so much, I think, Wadley and Winterboro probably going to be your top two teams, but those last two spots, you've got 4 teams battling for 2 spots. And I'll be honest with you, Coach, I have no idea about who's going to be those final 2 there behind Wadley and Winterboro.
I don't either, and Woodland is getting better and better.
They
tonight with an 8-6, I think that was.
They lost to Pleasant Valley, close game, yes.
And Winterboro, Coach Mansfield does a great job down there at Winterboro, and he had to his job was to mesh those guys together from another school, and one of them is his quarterback. And that's why they're getting better and better each week, because he still is taking new guys that haven't been with him for 3 or 4 years. And his quarterback, was at TCT last year. So he's meshing those guys together at the right time.
Coach, we haven't talked about this a lot, but we're getting to the point we're going to start talking about it a lot. Playoffs, playoff brackets. First round this year is Region 6 versus Region 8. So here's Class 1A Region 8, Spring Garden winning tonight, non-region. They're now 6-0. They've already beaten Valley Head. Appalachian, tough team. Appalachian beat Section tonight pretty handily. But that is Spring Garden's right now to lose, Coach, in Class 1A Region 8.
No doubt. And, there are some very good 1A teams this year. I never got to see 1A football as I was coaching. But I've been very impressed the past 3 years of 1A football. It's a whole lot better than I thought it was.
Spring Garden, Winneboro, Valley Head, Wadley, Pickens County. They'll win Hackleburg maybe over in West Alabama. Those are probably your front runners for 1A North this year. So that's Class 1A Region 8 in our region rundown presented by Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. Time for our final extra point of the night presented by Randy Wood, State Representative out of District 36. And this one is pretty amazing, Coach, I have to say. The top 2 current leading rushers in high school football in America are both from Alabama. Dylan Embry Dino of Class 3A Locust Fork leads the nation in rushing with 1,364 yards in only 3 games heading into tonight's games. Alvin Henderson of Class 1A Elba right behind with 1,297 yards. Both players, this is not a misprint, both players average over 340 yards per game and over 13 yards per carry. Chew on that, and then we'll be back to announce Team of the Week.
Wow, these guys are everywhere, I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Gym, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
All right, tomorrow, here it is, folks. Oklahoma and Auburn, followed by Alabama and Georgia. There's going to be a lot of football watched and a lot of food consumed. Johnson's Giant Food, 5 locations to serve you. Etowah, downtown Gadsden, East Gadsden, which I have to say East Gadsden now, that's the, in my opinion, that's the king of the delis is East Gadsden. Jacksonville and in Coldwater, they've got unbelievable, I'm just telling you, they've got chicken fingers, chicken salad, sandwich meat in the deli. They've got all the great food over there. Anything you need for the big games, not just out of the deli, but the meats, if you want to grill out, they got great meats. They've got everything that you need for your tailgates or for your football watching parties. So tomorrow, Johnson's Giant Food, go check them out as you get ready for those big games tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We've got 2 more regions to look at, and then our big Team of the Week announcement. Coach Short joins me back here at this time, and one more classification to look at. And Coach, Class 2A. So let's look at Class 2A now in our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Region Rundown. Class 2A Region 7, Pisgah sitting on the top. This team right here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley won tonight a non-region game at Woodland. They've already beaten Sandrock. I think that Pleasant Valley could very easily, Coach, make a big run down the home stretch of the season and maybe host their first playoff game in school history. I think they've got an excellent shot, not a prediction, but I think they've got an excellent shot at maybe being the runner-up. They've already lost to Pisgah. Pisgah's out of the way. That's their only regional loss. Coach, I think they got an excellent chance at maybe hosting a playoff game.
I do too, and it has a lot to do with wherever they play these people at. You know, it looks like they match up with, I guess, North Sand Mountain and Cedar Bluff for them.
I think so. Cedar Bluff
Depends on
lost
where those
big to
games are
Spring
being
Garden,
played.
and Pleasant Valley, again, comparing scores. Pleasant Valley hung in there with Spring Garden fairly well. 34-12 was that game. Pleasant Valley beat Sandrock, and Sandrock shut out North Sand Mountain.
Yes.
So, I think if you look at the remaining region games, they've beaten Sandrock, lost to Pisgah. The remaining region games, I think Pleasant Valley's probably the favorite in all those. Coach Nix is probably having a heart attack right now because I'm saying that, but that's probably the truth.
Well, in their shape, in their position that they're in, their kids have to believe that. I mean, I don't know, we say it's rat poison, but in a position that Pleasant Valley's in, maybe an opportunity to go back-to-back playoffs and host a playoff game, that place would be so crowded, they'd have to have a whole lot of barbecue nachos out there to cover that crowd.
Class 2A now, let's go up and look at Class, that's 3A Region 4. I think we're supposed to have 2A Region 8. 2A Region 8. We're going to try to find that and get that to you. That's our last region to look at. And that region, Coach, well, that's the region that we're going to be looking at. We're back here. We've got one more region to look at. That's the region that's got Coosa Christian in it. If you're looking, guys, back there for that file, that has Coosa Christian in it. And so you have Coosa Christian, West End.
Everybody else.
Yeah. We're not going to have that, but Coosa Christian, the only 2 teams in our area, our viewing area that's in there, Coosa Christian and West End. West End has not won a game. They lost tonight, big 36-6 to Vinemont. We know about Coosa Christian. We've talked about them. So, again, they're going to win that region, no doubt about it. Everybody else is playing for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in that region. All right, time now to announce our big Team of the Week. It's our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Of course, they get the Tough Guy Trophy from Awards to Remember. They get the Ted's T-shirts. They get those Anniston Orthopedic score shirts with the score of the game on it. This is a team that has not won a football game in a long time. As a matter of fact, it is a team that had lost before tonight 26 consecutive football games. Had a new coach this year. They break the losing streak in a big way tonight at home in their home stadium, Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. The Talladega Tigers are our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Congratulations to Coach Damian Dorsey and the Tigers as they break that losing streak tonight as Talladega wins over Asheville tonight, 35-28. Congratulations to the Talladega Tigers. Coach, our Team of the Week.
Well, I mean, Coach Dorsey's done a great job. You know, they've been ahead in a lot of games this year. Halftime, at Booker T, they were ahead by 12 into the third quarter. They were, they almost caught up with Cleveland County, so they've had a lot of close games. He's doing a great job. I think he's talking about brick by brick, he's building that program down there.
Tough Guy trophy, and we've got the T-shirts and all that coming to Talladega for all of our hard-working after the game crew on this football Friday night. You have a blessed weekend. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock next Friday.